وتخرج الميت من الحي وترزق من تشاء بغير حساب لا يتخذ المؤمنون الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين ومن يفعل ذلك فليس من الله في شيء إلا أن تتقوا منهم تقاه ويحذركم الله نفسه وإلى الله المصير صدق الله العظيم. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sing the national anthem of Indonesia Raya. Next, let's listen to the welcoming remarks from the Chairman of Accounting Associations, Muhammad Fitrah Ridwan. Time and place is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Puji syukur kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas kudrah dan iradahnya kita semua dapat berkumpul dan menjalankan suatu kegiatan yang mulia seperti pada hari ini. Salawat dan salam kita hanturkan bersama kepangkuan tauladan umat manusia Nabi Muhammad SAW. Yang saya hormati Bapak Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala, Dr. Faisal SE MSI MA. Yang saya hormati Wakil Dekan 1 Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala. Yang saya hormati Wakil Dekan 2 Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala. Yang saya hormati Wakil Dekan 3 Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala. Ketua Jurusan Akuntansi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala, Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Rudi Islahuddin, MIM, selaku keynote speaker, pemateri Webinar Internasional Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi, dan moderator Webinar Internasional Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi. Bapak Ibu yang saya muliakan, sebuah perjalanan panjang yang telah dilalui bersama, mulai dari detik, menit, jam, hari, hingga bulan, hanya untuk memikirkan, menciptakan, dan mengemas kegiatan ini dengan baik sehingga terlaksana pada pagi yang berbahagia ini. Walaupun itu bukan sebuah penghalang bagi Himaka untuk terus aktif dan kreatif dalam memberikan manfaat bagi seluruh pihak yang terkait. Bapak dan Ibu yang kami banggakan, terlaksananya Pekan Ilmiah untuk terus aktif berikan dukungan serta bantuan dari seluruh sponsor dan instansi terkait. Maka dari itu, terima kasih tak henti membantu keberlangsungan kegiatan ini. Semoga nantinya Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi dapat menjadi bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala, dan besar harapan Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi menjadi wadah untuk menyalurkan kreativitas pemuda dan pemudi bangsa. Sekian kata sambutan dari saya, lebih dan kurang saya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Next, let's listen to the welcoming remarks from the Head of Accounting Department, Dr. Rerpol Herufah Levi. Time and place is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Alhamdulillah, segala puji bagi Allah, Tuhan semesta alam yang sudah memberikan kita nikmat iman, nikmat Islam, dan kesempatan untuk bisa berkumpul di acara yang berkah ini, acara Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24. Salawat dan salam kepada baginda Rasulullah Shallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, pada sanak famili dan keluarga. Yang saya hormati Bapak Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis beserta jajarannya yang terus memberikan support kepada mahasiswa kita sehingga bisa berkarya dan berinovasi di era pandemi ini. Yang saya hormati para narasumber, Dr. Insinyur M. Rudi Salahuddin, Bapak Yanuar Tejawijaya, Dr. Maya Pusparahman, dan Dr. Vivi Yusmita yang sudah berkenan menerima invitasi dari mahasiswa Himaka untuk bisa memberikan perspektifnya terkait dengan menghadapi recovery ekonomi dan pengembangan teknologi. Yang saya hormati Bapak dan Ibu dosen yang sudah bersedia hadir membersamai adik-adik mahasiswa kita, dan juga yang tidak kalah penting para alumni yang terus memberikan dukungan, dan juga yang kita banggakan adik-adik alumni adik-adik mahasiswa himpunan mahasiswa akuntansi yang diketuai oleh Muhammad Fitrah Ridwan, kemudian ketua panitia ada tim Muhammad Irham, dan para panitia lainnya seperti Agnia, Lutfi, Muhammad Farhan. Ini merupakan sebuah pencapaian yang sangat baik. Selamat bagi para panitia, khususnya Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi Universitas Syah Kuala. Bapak dan Ibu yang saya hormati, kita tahu sudah 2 tahun pandemi ini berlangsung, dan alhamdulillah sudah mulai menemukan titik penurunan, sehingga pelan-pelan kehidupan masyarakat baik di level nasional ataupun internasional kembali berjalan seperti sedia kala. Kita tahu bahwasanya banyak pembelajaran yang kita lihat selama pandemi, di mana kita lihat kita harus responsif dan juga inovatif, sehingga kegiatan apa saja, baik itu industri, bisnis, bahkan pendidikan bisa berjalan dengan semestinya. Di setiap tantangan pasti ada kemudahan, di setiap kesukaran pasti ada kemudahan. Kita lihat sekarang contohnya saja PIA ini, kalau tidak di situasi pandemi pasti tidak banyak peserta dari luar. Tapi alhamdulillah sekarang dengan kemudahan adanya sarana virtual, maka kita bisa mengumpulkan para akuntan, para narasumber yang hebat-hebat, yang punya pengalaman dan juga wawasan yang kuat, sehingga bisa memberikan input yang lebih baik bagi kita bersama, khususnya mahasiswa IMAKA dan mahasiswa jurusan akuntansi lainnya. Namun demikian, kita tahu pandemi ini belum usai, dan bisa saja akan ada lagi pandemi lain, akan ada lagi krisis lain yang menuntut kita untuk selalu memperbaiki diri, meningkatkan wawasan, khususnya bagi generasi muda, khususnya mahasiswa Universitas Syah Kuala, lebih khusus lagi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis, untuk bisa belajar terus, baik dari kampus maupun non-kampus, di luar kampus, dan tidak kalah penting untuk bermitra dengan mahasiswa lain, dengan lembaga lain, sehingga apa yang ditujukan dapat dilaksanakan. Demikian kata sambutan dari saya. Saya mewakili jurusan akuntansi sangat senang bisa melihat PIA ini semakin lama semakin berkembang, semakin lama semakin besar. Alhamdulillah sudah 24 tahun kalau kita asumsikan setiap tahun, dan mudah-mudahan tahun depan bisa lebih baik. Dan PIA ini Bapak dan Ibu kita harapkan tidak hanya sebagai sarana bagi adik-adik mahasiswa IMAKA untuk mengembangkan diri, untuk mengurus proyek yang besar ini, tapi juga kita harapkan berkat dukungan Bapak dan Ibu dosen, kita dorong mahasiswa jurusan akuntansi untuk berpartisipasi penuh dengan mengikuti lomba-lomba, dan juga tidak kalah penting materi-materi yang disampaikan oleh para narasumber. Demikian kata sambutan dari saya mewakili jurusan akuntansi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Rerpol Heru Fahlevi, as the head of the accounting department, who has given remarks as well as directions, which will certainly be very useful for all of us that join this international webinar. Next, let's listen to the remarks as well as the opening for the 25 Accounting Scientific Week, or Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-25, by the Dean of Economic and Business Faculty, Syah Kuala University, Dr. Faisal S.A.M.S.I.M.A. Time and place is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asrafil anbiya wa mursalin nabiyina wa habibina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsani ila yaumiddin. Bapak Ibu, adik-adik mahasiswa, seluruh peserta Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang berbahagia, bersyukur kita kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala atas limpah rahmat, karunia dan hidayahnya, sehingga pada pagi hari yang berbahagia ini kita semua masih Allah berikan kesempatan untuk dapat menghadiri secara bersama-sama di ruang Zoom meeting ini, salah satu acara penting yang pada hari ini diselenggarakan oleh Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Syah Kuala, yaitu berupa Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 untuk tahun 2021 ini. Syukur alhamdulillah kita semua berada dalam kondisi sehat walafiat dan tetap bersemangat. Meskipun kondisi saat ini kita masih berada dalam kondisi pandemi COVID-19. Namun demikian, kita harapkan ke depan semoga Allah SWT segera mengangkat kondisi pandemi di bumi Aceh ini sehingga kita dapat melaksanakan semua kegiatan kembali secara normal. Selanjutnya salawat dan salam kita sampaikan kepada Rasulullah SAW beserta keluarga dan sahabat-sahabat beliau sekalian. Semoga kita semua yang hadir pada acara webinar pada hari ini termasuk ke dalam golongan orang-orang yang nantinya mendapatkan syafaat beliau di hari yaumil akhir nanti. Yang kami hormati Bapak Ibu para wakil dekan, Ketua dan Sekretaris Jurusan Akuntansi, Koordinator Program Studi, Bapak Ibu dosen, yang kami hormati dan muliakan para narasumber kita, para pemateri yang telah berkenan hadir ya pada acara webinar hari ini, baik pemateri yang berasal dari Indonesia maupun dari luar negeri. Yang kami hormati Ketua Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi, Ketua Panitia Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 untuk tahun 2001 ini, para alumni program studi akuntansi, para tamu undangan, serta seluruh peserta Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 yang berkenan hadir pada hari ini. Yang kami banggakan adik-adik mahasiswa semua, baik yang berada di lingkungan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala maupun seluruh mahasiswa yang berasal dari seluruh perguruan tinggi lain di Indonesia yang berkesempatan untuk hadir secara daring pada kegiatan Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 untuk tahun 2021 pada hari ini. Bapak Ibu, adik-adik mahasiswa serta seluruh peserta Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang berbahagia, saya selaku Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala mewakili seluruh unsur pimpinan dan sivitas akademika Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala. Pertama mengucapkan terima kasih kepada Bapak Ibu dan adik-adik mahasiswa semua yang telah berkenan hadir secara daring pada acara pembukaan Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 untuk tahun 2021 pada hari ini, yang alhamdulillah diselenggarakan oleh Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi, yang kalau saya lihat di dalam catatan ya, ini ada sekitar 300 partisipan yang ikut ya. Nah, sungguh ini luar biasa. Kalau biasa kita laksanakan secara luring, untuk menghadirkan 300 orang ini tidak mudah, apalagi yang hadir ini adalah seluruh partisipan dari seluruh Indonesia. Ya, tentu ini sebuah capaian yang luar biasa bagi panitia Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi ya. Ucapan terima kasih dan apresiasi juga saya sampaikan kepada Ketua dan Sekretaris Jurusan Akuntansi, Koordinator Program Studi Akuntansi, Ketua Umum Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi beserta jajarannya, Ketua dan seluruh panitia yang telah bekerja keras ya sejak jauh-jauh hari untuk mempersiapkan dan mensukseskan pelaksanaan acara Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 yang kita laksanakan pada hari ini. Bapak Ibu, adik-adik mahasiswa dan hadirin yang berbahagia, Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 untuk tahun 2001 ini diisi oleh para narasumber dan pemateri yang luar biasa, ya, yang sangat berkompeten, karena merupakan akademisi dan juga praktisi di bidangnya masing-masing, yang tentunya nanti ini akan menjadi sumber inspirasi bagi kita semua. Sebagaimana tadi yang disampaikan oleh Ketua Jurusan Akuntansi, ya, hadir bersama kita Bapak Dr. Insur Muhammad Rudi Salahuddin, ya, dari Deputi Bidang Koordinasi Ekonomi Digital, Ketenagakerjaan dan Usaha Mikro, Kecil dan Menengah, ya, sebagai keynote speaker pada hari ini. Juga hadir Ibu Dr. Maya Pusparahman, ya, ini Associate Professor dari International Islamic University Malaysia, ini sebagai pemateri internasional. Juga hadir Bapak Yanuar Teja Wijaya sebagai pemateri nasional, ya, dan juga hadir Ibu Dr. Vivi Usmita, ya, sebagai pemateri dari Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala. Bapak Ibu hadirin dan hadirat yang berbahagia, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala terus berupaya membangun iklim ya dan akademik atmosfer yang kondusif ya, guna mewujudkan berbagai indikator kerja utama yang telah menjadi kesepakatan atau kontrak ya, antara dekan dengan rektor maupun antara rektor dengan Kementerian Pendidikan dan Kebudayaan. Nah, dalam pencapaian indikator-indikator utama tersebut, salah satu kegiatan penting yang menjadi prioritas itu adalah kegiatan kemahasiswaan sebagaimana yang dilaksanakan oleh Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi pada hari ini. Oleh karena itu, pada kesempatan ini, tentu kami ingin menyampaikan penghargaan yang sebesar-besarnya atas upaya ya, dan usaha yang telah dilakukan oleh adik-adik Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi dalam bentuk kegiatan Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi ke-4 untuk tahun 2021 ini. Kami juga merasa bangga karena acara ini merupakan acara unggulan ya, dari Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Sekolah yang berskala nasional dan internasional, yang insya Allah bisa dilaksanakan secara rutin setiap tahun yang pada hari ini memasuki tahun yang ke-24. Tentu kita berharap bahwa melalui kegiatan ini nantinya akan terjadi interaksi dan komunikasi yang baik antara mahasiswa, baik yang ada di jurusan akuntansi, Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Kuala, maupun dengan mahasiswa lain. Juga kita harapkan ada interaksi yang baik antara mahasiswa dengan dosen, ya, dan interaksi antara mahasiswa dengan para narasumber ya, yang berasal dari seluruh Indonesia dan juga mungkin dari luar negeri. Ya. Nah, sehingga kegiatan ini juga bisa memperkuat tali silaturahim baik antara sivitas akademika Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis maupun dengan para mitra ya, atau para stakeholder lainnya. Hadirin dan hadirat yang kami muliakan, hal yang paling penting mungkin nanti dari hasil kegiatan webinar yang dilaksanakan pada hari ini, kita berharap bahwa dari materi yang diberikan oleh para pemateri nasional maupun internasional dalam acara Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi pada hari ini, itu diharapkan tentu dapat memberikan inspirasi ya bagi adik-adik mahasiswa. Tentu kalau bisa nanti dalam menghasilkan karya ilmiah yang berkualitas, karena ini ada kaitannya nanti dengan seminar baik nasional maupun internasional ya. Kita berharap kegiatan ini juga nanti akan melahirkan ide-ide ya, penulisan karya ilmiah dengan topik-topik terkini, isu-isu kontemporer dalam kondisi pandemi COVID-19 pada hari ini, sehingga kita harapkan juga ini menjadi tambahan pengetahuan ya bagi adik-adik dalam mempercepat penulisan karya tulisnya, khususnya penulisan skripsi. Dan juga kita harapkan karena kita hadir para pemateri-pemateri yang luar biasa, ini kita harapkan juga nanti dapat menghasilkan ya artikel-artikel ilmiah yang melibatkan mahasiswa dan dosen yang layak nanti dipublikasikan baik pada berbagai jurnal ilmiah di tingkat nasional maupun internasional. Bapak Ibu, adik-adik mahasiswa serta seluruh peserta Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang berbahagia, dengan mengucapkan Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, acara Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi yang ke-24 tahun 2021 yang dilaksanakan oleh Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Sekolah tahun 2021 berupa webinar internasional dengan tema Facing Economic Recovery and Technology Advancement on Accounting Perspective pada hari ini, Senin 18 Oktober 2021, dengan resmi kami nyatakan dibuka. Semoga kita semua dapat bekerjasama dengan baik dan saling mendukung agar acara Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi ke-24 yang dilaksanakan pada tahun ini oleh adik-adik Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi bisa berjalan dengan sukses dan lancar, serta memberikan manfaat bagi kita semua. Selamat mengikuti kegiatan Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi ke-24. Semoga kegiatan yang kita laksanakan ini mendapatkan berkah dari Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Amin. Demikian kata sambutan dari saya selaku dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Sekolah. Mohon maaf apabila ada hal-hal yang tidak berkenan. Terima kasih atas perhatiannya. Hadanallah wa iyyakum ajmain. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you. For the Dean of Economic and Business Faculty, Syekh Kuala University, Dr. Faisal SAMSEMA, who already gave a speech and opened the Accounting Science Week or Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi 2021. Give a big virtual applause, ladies and gentlemen, of course, for all of us. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the event we have waiting for, where in the session, there will be a discussion that is guided directly by our moderator today, Mr. Dinaro SA MBA AKCA. However, before I invite him for guide the discussion sessions, let me introduce or explain his curriculum vitae first, where Mr. Dinaro is the lecturer at Accounting Department of Economic and Business, Syekh Kuala University, Banda Aceh. He obtained his bachelor's degree at Syekh Kuala University, majoring in accounting. Then he continued his Master of Business Administration at the Universitas Leipzig, German. For his own experience, he has been the Internal Auditor Committee in Internal Control Divisions of Syekh Kuala University, starting from 2016 until now. And he has also been Deputy Chairman of the Office of International Affairs, or OIA, for Project Planning and International Promotion at Syekh Kuala University in 2016. And besides that, he was an expert assistant staff for the region of Aceh Besar Regency, starting from 2013 until 2015. And now he is the lecturer of Accounting Study Program, Syekh Kuala University. So without wasting any more time, please welcome our moderator today, Mr. Dinaro SA MBA AKCA. Time and place is yours.
Thank you very much, Saima. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin, wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. A'udzu billahi rabba wa bil islami dina wa bi Muhammadin nabiyya wa rasulah. Rabbi israh li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidni ilman warzuqni fahman. Amin ya rabbal alamin. All praise to Allah that has already given us His blessing and also the healthiness so we can meet today in this very special event today, Dia 2021, and also salawat and salam to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace be upon him, that already brought us from the darkness into the lightness. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Dean of Economics and Business Faculty, Universitas Syekh Kuala, all the vice deans that already present here, vice dean first, the second, and the third, the head of accounting department, and all the coordinator of program study, also all the lecturers, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. So today we will conducting the international webinar that will discussing about the recovery and technology advancements in accounting perspective. We know that during the pandemics and also with the industrial revolution of 4.0, we are aware that technology has been part of our life. So the disruption of technology also impact in economics. So today we will discuss a lot of things about big data analytics. We will discussing about how technology can affect and changing also the economics. So today we will present 4 speakers that will discuss for each of the topics. And one of the keynote speakers are representing from the Coordinating Ministry of Economics Affairs. So with no further ado, we will continue our first section that will be presented by our keynote speaker. But before that, let me introduce our first keynote speaker today. Our first keynote speaker is Dr. Insinyur Muhammad Rudi Salahuddin. He is currently as a deputy for the coordinating of digital economics, employment, and small and medium enterprises at the coordinating Ministry of Economics Affairs. He took his bachelor degree at the Universitas Indonesia and then continued to pursuing his master and doctoral degree at George Washington University in Washington, D.C., USA. He has a lot of experiences working in several sectors. In addition to the PNS, also, we can see from the curriculum vitae, he has also worked as the commissioners, and also has been working since 1996. So there's a lot of experience. And he also have a lot of training activities and also recognition and medal awards. So with no further ado, we'd like to invite Dr. Salahuddin. Assalamualaikum, Dr. Salahuddin.
Waalaikumsalam, Bapak
Welcome to
Dinaru,
Banda Aceh, Dr. Salahuddin.
Ya, Pak.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, Bapak, you have about 25 to 30 minutes to present your presentation. And then after that, we will continue to connect speakers. And then at the end, we will open the Q&A for about 30 minutes. And we will try to answer all the questions from the participant. So it's time for yours, sir.
Sure. Thank you, Pak Dinaru, for the introduction. Please allow me to speak in Bahasa for my keynote speech. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Yang saya hormati Bapak Dekan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Yahkuala, Bapak Dr. Faisal, beserta jajaran, Bapak Dr. Heru Fahlevi, Ketua Jurusan Akuntansi Universitas Yahkuala, para narasumber, Bapak Yanwar Tejawijaya, Ibu Maya Pusparahman, dan Ibu Vivi Yusmita, serta Mas Fitrah Ridwan, Ketua Himpunan Mahasiswa Akuntansi beserta panitia yang sungguh luar biasa menyelenggarakan acara hari ini, Bapak Ibu, rekan-rekan mahasiswa, serta para peserta webinar yang berbahagia. Pertama-tama, marilah kita panjatkan puji syukur kita kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, karena berkat rahmat dan hidayahnya kita berada dalam keadaan sehat dan dapat mengikuti webinar Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi ke-24 yang mengangkat topik Facing Economic Recovery and Technology Advancement, an Accountant Perspective. Kegiatan ini merupakan ruang bagi kita untuk berbagi informasi dan melihat peluang kolaborasi lintas stakeholders, serta momentum untuk membangun pemahaman bersama terhadap pemanfaatan teknologi, khususnya UMKM dalam mendorong percepatan pemulihan ekonomi nasional dan transformasi digital di Indonesia. Bapak Ibu sekalian, kinerja ekonomi Indonesia kini telah berada pada lintasan pemulihan, di mana pada triwulan kedua tahun 2021 kita mampu tumbuh sebesar 7,07% year on year. Angka tersebut merupakan yang tertinggi dalam 5 tahun terakhir, yakni sejak 2015 sampai dengan 2021. Tren perbaikan ini tentu tidak terlepas dari intervensi yang dilakukan oleh pemerintah, di mana konsumsi pemerintah pada kuartal kedua tahun 2021 tumbuh mencapai 8,06% year on year, sehingga ikut mendorong perbaikan pada konsumsi rumah tangga dan investasi. Membaiknya permintaan domestik juga direspon dengan peningkatan aktivitas di berbagai sektor usaha, seperti pengolahan, transport dan pergudangan, perdagangan besar dan eceran, serta juga makanan dan minuman. Bapak Ibu sekalian, di tengah pandemi COVID-19, ekonomi digital ternyata mampu tampil sebagai kekuatan baru perekonomian nasional. Pada tahun 2020, nilai ekonomi digital Indonesia tercatat sebagai yang terbesar di Asia Tenggara, mencapai 44 miliar US dollar, tumbuh 11% dari tahun sebelumnya. Namun demikian, secara per kapita nilai ekonomi digital Indonesia hanya menduduki peringkat keempat. Berdasarkan hal ini dapat disimpulkan bahwa manfaat dari digital ekonomi ternyata belum dinikmati secara merata, sehingga perlu didorong upaya untuk meningkatkan inklusivitas dari ekonomi digital. Adapun penopang utama tingginya nilai ekonomi digital Indonesia adalah transaksi e-commerce yang nilainya meningkat 54% dibanding tahun 2019. Diikuti oleh nilai transaksi pada sektor transportasi dan pengiriman makanan atau ride hailing, media online, dan online travel. Selain itu, sektor edutech dan healthtech tampil sebagai pendatang baru yang menjanjikan. Pada tahun 2020, pengguna aktif aplikasi edutech Indonesia tumbuh signifikan sampai dengan 200%. Ini data dari World Bank tahun 2020. Tren peningkatan jumlah pengguna juga terjadi pada sektor healthtech atau telemedicine. Bapak Ibu sekalian, tren pertumbuhan positif ekonomi digital juga terjadi akibat adanya pergeseran perilaku masyarakat yang semakin adaptif dalam memanfaatkan kemajuan teknologi digital. Hal ini terlihat dari meningkatnya aktivitas belanja online, berkembangnya telemedicine dan e-learning, serta meningkatnya aktivitas layanan keuangan digital. Data dari We Are Social and Hoodsight mengkonfirmasi bahwa aktivitas belanja online terus mengalami kenaikan, di mana 93% pengguna internet di Indonesia melakukan pencarian produk atau layanan yang mereka butuhkan melalui e-commerce. Dan dari jumlah tersebut, 87,1% diantaranya melakukan pembelian secara online. Adapun kategori e-commerce tertinggi berdasarkan total belanja dari konsumen di e-commerce adalah pertama food and personal care, toys and hobbies, fashion and beauty, serta furniture and appliances. Bapak Ibu sekalian, berbagai studi menyatakan bahwa peluang ekonomi digital Indonesia masih sangat terbuka lebar. Hal ini didukung oleh sejumlah faktor seperti total penduduk yang terbesar keempat di dunia, serta jumlah usia produktif yang mencapai lebih dari 70%, yang ditopang oleh generasi Z dan juga generasi Y atau milenial. Dari sisi digital user, jumlah mobile connection di Indonesia juga sudah mencapai 125,6% dari total populasi atau sebesar 345,3 juta orang. Per Maret 2021, pengguna internet di tanah air sudah mencapai 212,3 juta orang dengan tingkat penetrasi sebesar 76,8%. Bahkan kini telah muncul gelombang baru teknologi seperti jaringan 5G, IoT, blockchain, AI, dan cloud computing yang diharapkan mampu mendorong terciptanya terobosan dan inovasi yang menjangkau seluruh sektor perekonomian dan seluruh lapisan masyarakat termasuk juga pelaku UMKM. Bapak Ibu serta mahasiswa yang sekalian, survei dari Kata Data tahun 2020 memperlihatkan dampak positif e-commerce terhadap aktivitas perdagangan, termasuk oleh UMKM, antara lain yang pertama adalah penjualan yang melonjak sebesar 36 triliun atau 26% dari rata-rata bulanan kuartal 2 tahun 2019. Yang kedua adalah transaksi harian naik menjadi 4,8 juta dari rata-rata triwulan 2 2019 atau 3,1 juta. Tolong next slide-nya. Yang ketiga, konsumer baru yang pertama kali belanja online selama PSBB mencapai 51%, serta volume permintaan yang meningkat 5-10 kali lipat. Peta e-commerce Indonesia yang diterbitkan oleh iPrice Group juga menunjukkan bahwa dari kuartal 1 2020 hingga kuartal 1 2021, jumlah rata-rata pengunjung bulanan dari 6 platform marketplace utama di Indonesia terus mengalami peningkatan. Ini slide-nya tidak jalan ya, atau bagaimana? Dari sisi pelaku UMKM, berdasarkan hasil survei Kata Data Insight Center Mei 2021, diketahui bahwa 77% UMKM menilai bahwa marketplace atau platform e-commerce berperan penting bagi pemasaran produknya, sehingga mereka mampu bertahan di masa pandemi. Di sisi konsumen, terdapat beberapa faktor yang membuat mereka lebih memilih belanja platform e-commerce, diantaranya adalah terdapat banyak sekali program-program promosi, misalnya gratis ongkir, harga murah, dan juga diskon, serta juga proses dan pembayaran yang beragam dan mudah, serta pilihan produk yang beraneka ragam. Bapak Ibu sekalian, seperti kita ketahui, UMKM merupakan penyangga perekonomian Indonesia, di mana 99% dari jenis usaha di tanah air adalah UMKM dengan jumlah mencapai lebih dari 60 juta unit. Masa pandemi COVID ini menjadi pembelajaran bagi kita, di mana adopsi teknologi digital sudah menjadi suatu keharusan dalam rangka meningkatkan efisiensi dan pengembangan usaha. Namun demikian, UMKM yang merupakan soko guru perekonomian Indonesia belum secara optimal memanfaatkan. Next slide-nya. Menurut data dari Kemenkop UKM, terdapat 94% UMKM tidak menggunakan komputer dalam menjalankan usaha mereka, dan 80% diantaranya belum menggunakan internet. Baru sekitar 15,3 juta UMKM yang memanfaatkan platform digital e-commerce dalam aktivitas bisnisnya. UMKM kita juga masih menghadapi berbagai permasalahan klasik seperti kurangnya inovasi dan penerapan teknologi, laporan keuangan, rendahnya produktivitas SDM, produk branding dan strategi pemasaran yang masih belum baik, banyak rumitnya prosedur perizinan, serta kualitas produk yang belum standar dan minimnya literasi digital. Upaya mempercepat adopsi dan transformasi UMKM ke dalam ekosistem ekonomi digital diharapkan bisa menjadi solusi yang mampu memperkuat ketahanan dan daya saing UMKM sehingga dapat beradaptasi dan juga mendukung pemulihan ekonomi nasional. Hasil survei Kata Data Insight Center tahun 2021 menunjukkan bahwa digitalisasi UMKM memberikan banyak manfaat, antara lain membantu pemasaran produk UMKM di masa pandemi, mempermudah transaksi dan pencatatan keuangan UMKM melalui penggunaan platform pembayaran digital, serta meningkatkan akses pasar dan pelatihan pengembangan usaha. Selanjutnya, terkait pembayaran digital, berdasarkan hasil survei OVO bersama Core Indonesia tahun 2021, diketahui bahwa 84% pelaku UMKM yang sudah go digital merasa terbantu oleh adanya fasilitas pembayaran digital selama pandemi. Bahkan 70% diantaranya mengalami peningkatan pendapatan per hari sejak memanfaatkan layanan keuangan digital. Diketahui pula bahwa 71% pelaku UMKM go digital kini sudah melek keuangan digital. Bapak, Ibu, serta mahasiswa, rekan-rekan mahasiswa sekalian, di samping berbagai potensi ekonomi digital yang ada, terdapat juga sejumlah tantangan yang harus kita tangani. Misalnya infrastruktur, penetrasi internet kita yang tadi saya sampaikan belum begitu baik, ada juga masih 12.000 desa yang belum tersentuh internet, rata-rata kecepatan mobile internet juga masih sangat lambat. Selain itu juga SDM dan literasi digital masih rendahnya UMKM yang go digital, belum optimalnya literasi digital, serta kurangnya ada talenta digital. Kita masih kekurangan sekitar 9 juta talenta digital sampai dengan tahun 2030 mendatang. Selain itu, dari sisi regulasi, lemahnya cyber security dan keamanan data konsumen, serta kebijakan peraturan yang masih sering tumpang tindih dan belum maksimal, serta banjirnya produk impor serta ancaman predatory pricing. Dari sisi pola pikir, kita juga melihat di sini masih rendahnya keinginan untuk berkompetisi, khususnya bagi para pelaku UMKM yang ada di daerah. Bapak Ibu sekalian serta rekan-rekan mahasiswa yang saya banggakan, tersedianya infrastruktur yang memadai dan merata yang merupakan prasyarat dalam pengembangan ekonomi digital. Untuk itu, pemerintah telah berupaya membangun berbagai sarana infrastruktur, baik itu jaringan fiber optik melalui palaparing dan juga BTS tower serta akses internet dan ekosistem TIK di tempat publik. Sehingga kita berharap di tahun 2023 mendatang ini sudah semakin baik lagi. Pemerintah juga terus melakukan perluasan cakupan wilayah 4G dan juga saat ini sedang proses uji coba di layanan 5G. Terkait dengan pengembangan talenta, saat ini pemerintah guna meningkatkan supply untuk talenta digital, pemerintah melalui Kominfo berupaya mendorong pengembangan SDM dengan menyelenggarakan beberapa diklat-diklat digital, antara lain keterampilan digital tingkat dasar, lalu tingkat menengah, dan juga tingkat lanjut. Tema pelatihan disesuaikan dengan perkembangan teknologi dan kebutuhan saat ini, misalnya seperti big data analysis, cyber security, Internet of Things, cloud computing, artificial intelligence, serta lain sebagainya. Dari sisi demand, pemerintah juga mendorong pengembangan startup melalui beberapa inisiatif, antara lain program 1000 startup digital, program Startup Studio Indonesia, dan juga Startup for Industry.id yang diinisiasi oleh Kemenperin. Program-program tersebut bertujuan untuk memperluas dan menguatkan peranan startup dalam ekosistem digital, sekaligus menyiapkan talenta digital yang dibutuhkan oleh dunia usaha atau dunia industri. Pemerintah juga terus berupaya untuk mendorong partisipasi UMKM dalam ekosistem digital melalui dua pendekatan utama, yakni penguatan ekosistem UMKM yang mana meliputi kemudahan perizinan, insentif pajak, sertifikasi, akses pasar, pembiayaan, pelatihan, dan lain sebagainya. Lalu juga ada penguatan ekosistem e-commerce itu sendiri, meliputi penciptaan iklim usaha yang sehat atau fair playing field, pembayaran digital, logistik, perlindungan data pribadi, pengendalian informatika, dan lain sebagainya. Kedua pendekatan ini perlu terus dilakukan dengan koordinasi yang erat antar stakeholders terkait. Selain itu, dukungan pemberdayaan dan akses pasar UMKM juga terus ditingkatkan melalui beberapa program-program pemerintah, misalnya program Bangga Buatan Indonesia, lalu ada program Padi UMKM, lalu juga ada program QRIS yang diinisiasi oleh Bank Indonesia juga dan juga pelaku industri keuangan, dan lain sebagainya. Bapak Ibu sekalian, pemerintah telah menyediakan bantuan bagi UMKM selama masa pandemi melalui alokasi dana pemulihan ekonomi nasional yang sampai tanggal 12 Oktober 2021 total realisasi dana pemulihan ekonomi nasional bagi UMKM tercatat sebesar 63,59 triliun. Selanjutnya, pemerintah juga telah menyiapkan program Kartu Prakerja yang sejak diluncurkan bulan April 2020 telah menjangkau lebih dari 11 juta penerima manfaat sampai saat ini. Program ini bertujuan untuk membantu masyarakat, para pencari kerja, dan pelaku usaha untuk meningkatkan kompetensi mereka. Adapun jenis pelatihan sangat beragam, mulai dari bagaimana penjualan digital marketing, lalu manajemen gaya hidup, bahasa, dan lain sebagainya. Selain itu juga telah terbit Undang-Undang 11 tahun 2020 tentang Cipta Kerja dan PP nomor 7 tahun 2021 tentang kemudahan pelindungan dan pemberdayaan koperasi UKM. Substansinya di dalam regulasi ini adalah basis data tunggal UMKM, lalu ada kemudahan perizinan, insentif UMKM, serta pelatihan dan pendampingan serta inkubasi. Salah satu hal dalam Undang-Undang Cipta Kerja dan PP 7 tahun 2021 adalah fasilitasi pelatihan dan pendampingan pemanfaatan sistem aplikasi pembukuan atau pencatatan keuangan bagi UMKM oleh pemerintah pusat dan pemerintah daerah. Sementara penyedia fasilitas tersebut dapat dikerjasamakan dengan perguruan tinggi dan juga asosiasi. Oleh sebab itu kami berharap nantinya kiranya sivitas akademika dari Universitas Syah Kuala, terutama dari FEB jurusan akuntansi, dapat ikut juga berkontribusi dengan memberikan pelatihan dan pendampingan pemanfaatan sistem aplikasi pembukuan atau pencatatan keuangan yang sangat dibutuhkan dalam pengembangan usaha dari para pelaku UMKM. Bapak, Ibu, serta para mahasiswa sekalian, perjuangan untuk mengatasi pandemi COVID masih terus berlanjut. Pemerintah tidak dapat berjalan sendiri, diperlukan kolaborasi dan komitmen yang kuat antar stakeholders, bukan hanya dari pemerintah, namun juga dari swasta, akademisi, serta para masyarakat, untuk mendapatkan alternatif solusi terbaik dalam mengakselerasi pengembangan ekonomi digital dan transformasi digital, guna mendorong percepatan pemulihan dan pertumbuhan ekonomi yang inklusif dan berkelanjutan. Demikian dari kami. Dengan ini juga kami berharap agar webinar ini berlangsung sukses, dan kami menyatakan juga bahwa kami menyambut baik apabila nanti ada tindak lanjut yang dari teman-teman mahasiswa maupun dari sivitas akademika dari Universitas Syah Kuala. Terima kasih. Saya kembalikan kepada Bapak Dinar.
Terima kasih, Mr. Salahuddin. Wow, what a great information today. And it's very insightful for us as a lecturers and also for the students, ya Pak, because there's a lot of topics that can be used for research and also information that can be shared for the UMKM, particularly in Banda Aceh. Several remarks that I can get from the presentation of Mr. Salahuddin. First, that our economic has been achieving the highest achievement, yeah, for this second quarter of 2021, that we achieved 7.07%. This is the highest. And then after that, our government of Indonesia already tried to provide all of the infrastructures and also all the support and facility to improve the UMKM, basically, particularly because we know that almost of the UMKM nowadays are still not so inclusive when we're talking about the digital technology, ya. Luar biasa Pak, ini informasi yang sangat luar biasa sekali, apalagi termasuk kita juga di akuntansi sudah terbit dengan akuntansi UMKM ya Pak ya, yang bertujuan untuk membantu para UMKM membuat laporan keuangan, sebagaimana yang Bapak usulkan tadi, tentang bagaimana kita bisa mensupport UMKM di Banda Aceh pada umumnya dan juga Indonesia pada khususnya. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we open our discussion session, let's hear and move along to the next speaker. After that, at the end, we will discuss together with all of the keynote speakers. For the second keynote speakers, I would like to invite Mr. Yanuar Tejawijaya, CPACA, as the Director and also the Financial Advisory of PT Deloitte Advice Indonesia. And yeah, he has been working for almost 10 years and has an experience in merger and acquisition advisory. He completed his bachelor degree in BINUS in Jakarta, and then continued his master degree at Master of International Business from Webinqr University, Sydney. Oh, okay. I got information from the committee that Mr. Yanuar has not been joined us yet. So let's move to the next speaker. So I would like to invite Ibu Vivi Yusmita as our next speaker. So Ibu Vivi Yusmita is one of the lecturer at Accounting Department of Economics and Business Faculty, Syekh Kuala University. She just finished his doctoral degree in 2019 at the University Utara Malaysia, and she also has graduated from the master degree at Syekh Kuala Banda Aceh, and also the alumni of the Bachelor of Universitas Syekh Kuala. She has been working as the lecturer since 2010, and also nowadays, and currently she also the committee of the PT Bank Syariah Aceh, and also the head of marketing, information, and communication technology at Business Development Agency of Syekh Kuala University. So with no further ado, we would like to invite Ibu Vivi, Ibu Dr. Vivi. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Vivi. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Vivi. Ibu Vivi. We are still trying to connect with Ibu Vivi here. Panitia, apakah sudah ada informasi dari Ibu Vivi? Okay, so ya. Bagaimana?
Bu Vivi sudah bergabung di Zoom.
Okay, ya. Ibu Vivi, we cannot hear your voice yet. Probably can you unmute the microphone? Halo, Ibu Vivi. Halo, Ibu Vivi. Assalamualaikum, Bu Vivi.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I think Mr. Dinaro, I'm
Yes.
in the last session, isn't it?
Yeah, because we got information from the committee that Mr. Yanuar has not joined us yet. So we will move along to the next speaker. And I believe also Ibu Dr. Maya, I think, not join us as well. So then we have to move to the next section. And even though you are the last speakers, but we, fortunately, you now become the second speaker, Ibu Vivi. Is it okay with you, Ibu Vivi?
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah. I think I must just wait a minute, yeah, Mr. Dinaro. I will send it to the panitia for a while.
Oh, okay, yeah, for the presentation, yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, if you have any question, you can also send your question through the chat, the Zoom chat, Or at the end of the session, we'll open the Q&A section where you can also raise your hand and then you can ask directly to the speakers. Yeah. So you can choose both of the options. You can send by chat Zoom, or you can wait until the end of the session and then you can ask directly with the one that you want to speak with. We still have three more.
Yeah, because I don't know the connection. Wait a minute.
Yes, no problem. Take your time, Ibu Vivi. Yeah.
Okay,
So we
sorry.
have four
Because I
keynote
think
speakers
I'm
for
the
today.
last one.
Yeah. Unfortunately, because of the situation, Ibu Vivi, we are very apologize for this inconvenience. But I believe that you are ready with all the preparation, Ibu Vivi, yeah, inshallah, yeah.
Okay, to whom I send it this presentation to?
Okay, so committee probably can help Ibu Vivi to
Halimah,
share
right?
the presentation.
Yes, we can help you.
Okay, perfect. So Ibu Vivi, 25 to 30 minutes. Or it's your time. Thank you.
I will say it first to make it focus.
Yeah, don't worry, Ibu Vivi.
Presentation.
Bu Vivi, boleh tolong kirim PowerPoint-nya ulang biar kami share screen saja?
Yeah, no, I just send it to you. I don't know, but no, okay. Okay, I have sent it. Shama, have you got? Shama.
Masih belum terkirim, Miss.
Oh, still not yet.
Yeah.
Oh, sebentar. I think I have sent it. Oh, still, buffer.
Yeah, connection problem.
Do you get it?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Why the committees open the presentation? I will start. Thank you ya, Mr. Dinaro ya. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Excellency Dr. Faisal, as the Dean of Economics and Business Faculty, respectable to Dr. Heru as the Head of Accounting Department, the Honorable, the keynote speaker today, just now we have here Dr. Engineer Muhammad Rudi Salahuddin NEM, then the Honorable to the Mr. Yanuar Teja Wijaja CPA as a M&A advisor and Director of Deloitte Financial Advisor, the Honorable Dr. Maya Pusparahma as an Associate Prof. Al-Qasimiyah University, Sharjah, respectable all the lecturers, all my lecturers, my colleagues, all the audience who have attending this international seminar, and the last honorable to all of my friends who attend this seminar. First of all, let's pray and thank into our God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us some mercies and blessing, so we can attend and gather in this virtual place in a good condition, I hope, and we in happy situation, yeah. Secondly, may peace and salutation always be given to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the brightness, from the stupidity to the cleverness, from Jahiliyyah to the Islamic era. Thirdly, I don't forget to say thank you very much to the moderator, my brother, Mr. Adinaro, that very handsome today, who has given me time to speak in front of all the audience. Yeah? And I also want to express my greatest appreciation to all the peer committees who have worked very hard to realize this international seminar. Uh, just now we have listened from the our keynote speaker, and as like Mr. Dinar said, we got many insightful information from the Dr. Rudy Salahuddin. Yeah, the data there that has been presented is very rich of the information, and I'm very lucky because of in this seminar, I'm paired with the very extraordinary speaker, yeah. And because of the two speakers are have I don't know, maybe there is a little bit I don't know, maybe the connection or what, because of the technology, yeah. So I replace their position to be a second speaker after our keynote speaker. Yeah. And okay, next slide. Okay. Wait a minute. I have to adjust. Okay. Now this is the first. Yeah. Uh, and I would like to say welcome to all the audience that have attending the international seminar Pekan Ilmiah Akuntansi PIA in this year with the title The Facing Economic Recovery and Technology Advancement from the Accounting Perspective. And today I will talk about, just now I think that I'm the latest one, so I just because of the latest one, I believe that all the speaker and the keynote speaker have been explained everything. So just make a little, I just prepare a little bit, but okay, it's quite okay. Let's try. I will, I will share about the thinking ahead from the accountant inside. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay. All the audience that have been attend in this virtual Zoom, yeah, you can see this is there is a QR barcode here, yeah, with the Instagram, my Instagram, Dr. Mika. I think this is the product of the technology, yeah. So then with this product, we can share the benefits. So today, I also want to all the audience. I would like to make a little bit quiz, yeah, for all the participants. And please scan the barcode and follow my Instagram. And there is a question there, yeah. And in the last session, I will decide the winner. I will give, I think, 2 coupon GoPay for the 2 lucky one. Yeah, and then I will inform the panitia the name. So this this barcode means that if we as a user can use the technology, the product of technology to economic recovery, it could be deliver a benefit to us. Yeah. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, and in this time, I think I will talk a little bit about economic recovery, about the technological advancement, and then the important thing, my presentation, I would like to talk about the accounting perspective, yeah, in terms of the education of accounting, the SMS, because of I know that here many millennials that now turn to the SM is field, and And then I will talk also a little bit about the government sector. Yeah, so means that the accounting perspective from the government sector, because of my research previously when I was done my PhD, I talk about the actually disaster recovery plan for accounting information system in the government sector, and also in there we can learn something. Yeah, okay. I think next, please. Okay, I'm not the econom, but I'm trying to share a little bit about the, before we talk about the economic recovery, we talk first about the economic crisis, yeah, that makes or force us to do the economic recovery. Yeah, maybe I believe that all of the participants have been know about the economic crisis, but now I just want to recall again what are the impact of the economic crisis. Yeah, I think I have mentioned view like the problem, the economic crisis could be a problem of production or under consumption, and then it could make it could be impact to increasing of unemployment and under unemployment, and then decline in real wage and rise in super profits, and the subprime mortgage and credit card debt also can impact to the speculative corporate financial activities, and increase the polarization of wealth and income. Okay, next. Then the question is what? Yeah, the question is what happened. So what any problems with that crisis? Yeah, I have identified some. First, with that conditions, yeah, the economic crisis, it could be have a significant impact on employers. Yeah? Yeah. So in that condition, the employers go to debt to survive. This condition, as we know that if we are in the bad situation, sometimes we don't have money, we don't have a job, and then how we survive with that condition. Yeah, how the employers survive with that condition, how our parents maybe or our students survive with the condition of the economic, the crisis of the economics. Yeah, so but the shortcut way is go to the bank and then ask to credit from the bank in order to survive. Yeah, in the real life. And then what happened next after that condition? And then because of the economics going, the crisis is not stopped, and then we go to the bank and then borrow the money or do the take a credit again. Yeah, so that condition is not controlled by ourselves because of the condition force you to take that. Yeah, to take the decision. Okay, then what happened in the bank if the economic crisis? Yeah, also the bank have an impact by the economic crisis. Yeah, it's related with the interest rate. Yeah, sometimes with the economic crisis, and banks could not be manage the rate because of the condition, and then they increase the interest rate. So this is also the consequences of the economic crisis, yeah, for the bank's organization. And then we can see also the after the employees or the worker lost their jobs, yeah, and then many of the people faced the difficult situation, and then we can see that their company or their organization is bankrupt. Yeah, so now that condition makes us in the very, very bad condition. And then this condition, the government should be, should be take a policy. Yeah, should be take this policy because of government can take their rule, for example, to control the economic crisis. Yeah, for example, if with the soft law like that, or with the control the the everything, or give the hibah for their society. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, I think this is not that important because of has been explained. Eh? Then, okay, with that condition, yeah, with the crisis condition, I think the one way that we could take is by do the recovery of the economics. Yeah, so we need to recovery the situation. We need to recovery the economic situation. Yeah, so who's the people that have a role in that condition? We as an accountant, yeah, I don't know, maybe here there is another profession, student as a candidate of the next accountant. Yeah, lecturer is the the people who deliver who share the information about the accountant. So I think with this condition, we must to take the benefit. Do not take the risk, but take the benefit from this condition. Okay, next. Okay. I think before this, we have like a very familiar with the industry 5.0. Yeah? So now we move also to industry 4.0. Now we move to 5.0. So, but now in the earlier 2020, I think the COVID-19 is become a new issues, yeah, in not only in Indonesia but also in the global, I think, yeah. And as a concern, we face these two issues, and then we must to we must to learn, yeah. We must to put ourselves in what condition, yeah. The impact of the industry 5.0 is it could be a replacement, yeah, the human position with the engine. We cannot realize, we cannot ignore with the condition, yeah. And then with the industry 5.0 also, the jobs in Indonesia have been affected by the current digitization. And then maybe I believe that the conventional store, yeah, like the traditional store, now has been replaced by online marketplace. Yeah, like just now, Dr. Who said just now, Dr. Rudy Salahuddin have been explained that now I think all the people do the online transaction. Yeah. So we have moved from the conventional store to the modern stores by online marketplace. Yeah. And then we can also see like maybe in my era, I think, yeah, taxi is a very famous gitu. And then we don't know about the Gojek, but now due to the issue of industry 5.0, due to the movement of the technology, we know today we know about the object, yeah, object, and it had that object have been replaced the modes of transportation line, yeah. So now due to the increasing of the technology, we know about the Gojek, yes, and all the people use Gojek rather than traditional taxis, yeah. But now I think after the COVID-19, yeah, or we also face the movement, the movement of the mindset, yeah. I say this resulted in the change in the sophisticated mindset. Yeah, I think this why I say this sophisticated mindset because of many of the mindset that we must to, we must to adjust with the condition, yeah. So because of the COVID-19, for example, yeah, now we do the seminar through the Zoom. I can meet it and I can see all the participants from the overall the world, just through from the, from the screen. Yeah, so it's move our mindset. We can meet the other people. We can see the other people. We just, from the screen. See how the technology is very impacted in our life today. Why we can adapt, why we can, like very familiar now today with that condition, yeah. Maybe I think before the COVID-19, if for example I would like to do the FIFA or the sidang, yeah, or we do a seminar or any activities, yeah, previously before the COVID-19, I think to think hard to how to do a video conference. Is there quite supported by the technology or the internet or something, anything, many of such of things that in our mind, but no, it's like a common, right? With technology, it's like okay, we do a meeting, I will share the Zoom link, and then all the people can join and we can discuss and then we can do the meeting, yeah. So it make like I call that a sophisticated mindset, but please let me know if I'm wrong, because it's just what I say to the movement of the situation. And then because the COVID-19 can make the disruption, yeah, in not only the disruption in the health organization, health issue, but also in many kind of things, yeah? In organization, in the faculty, university, and then in the companies, yeah, many kind of disruption due to the COVID-19, yeah. We, just now, maybe, yeah, I don't know, the all participants can feel the same feeling like me, yeah. For example, now we can work from home, yeah, because of if we go to the office or if we go to the universities, we are afraid the COVID will attract us, yeah. So this disruption, I think it delivered the positive impact and also deliver the negative impact. So it depends on your perception. But one thing that we must to we must to control that this issue, even like just an industry or the COVID-19, this issue hopefully can deliver the positive impact, not negative impact, yeah. And as a lecturer, I think this situation, yeah, this issue, it be a challenge, yeah, in the world of education, yeah, especially in accounting area. Okay, next, please. Okay, this is I think what we can do from the related with that issue from the accounting perspective. Yeah, yes, of course, the COVID-19 or the Industry 5.0 had a huge impact on financial reporting. Yeah, and also from the auditing practice have also changed. Yeah. Why I can say that have a change, because maybe before this situation happened, to do the audit process, we must to go to that company and then do the physically check. But now with the rapidly of the technology, we can do auditing from everywhere. Yeah, I think last time also one of the head coordinator for D3, Bu Nita, also make like she very very attractive and very make like make the webinar about how the auditing in this condition. Yeah, so do the online audit. Yeah, so it's because of the issue. And what we can do as the from the accounting perspective is, first, I think as a lecturer or as a institution need to convey materials, yeah? Because of accounting has been changed in the last decade, especially to related to the technology, yeah, the internet, and so means that we must to adapt, we must to be comfort with this situation by convey the material, yeah. And then we also must to know about the environmental accounting, yeah. Wait a minute. Okay, we must to familiar with the environmental accounting in this digital era, I think, yeah. And I think this condition also should be known by the student. So means that maybe in the first pandemic, I think, yeah, I feel like, if I do the if I have a class and then I couldn't see my student, and then they say, I'm sorry, miss, because of the connections, yeah. So the process of education, it could not be come smooth because of the, I don't know, is really because of the technology, the internet, or I don't know. That's the negative impact, yeah, due to this condition. And I think as a lecturer, we must to also to prepare graduates long-term career needs, yeah. So we must to see the needs or the career needs in this condition. Why I said in this condition, I have one story actually in this in this condition. My neighbor, she is working for the Gojek, if I don't make a mistake, yeah. No, she can advise, she can do everything in from Aceh, even the works in Jakarta. So that condition, it forced the student to familiar with the technology. So also the education, the curriculum should be fits into the condition, yeah. And also, it's very important, I think, if the faculty can build the network with the industry, yeah. So the top management, the middle management can know the the capacity of our student. So after they finish their study, the industry can accept our student to work there. Because of if we are not do the like networks with that industry, the industry they will didn't know about our capacity, yeah. So I think this is the homework for the university to make like industry connection, yeah, and then to inform to well known about our student. Okay, next. Okay, this is okay. I think after I see this condition, I think is very important to university needs to prepare or to offer new programs on campus or revise existing program. Means that we need to to see again the program and make it suitable with the condition. And then we also need to make strategic changes. Yeah, why I say is the strategic changes means that there is a we must to to see the opportunity, and then the weakness and everything in our study program. Also, I think it's very important to provide online program that are licensed or certified. I don't know this could be happen or not because of the condition is going well now. So I also hear that our university will make the tatap muka class again. But I think after this condition, if the university or the faculty can take this experience to make like the online program, but the online program is licensed or certified by the good organization, yeah. So means that for those people who work in everywhere, like maybe in America, can still do this education. So I think this is a challenge for our university, yeah, and make it realize in curriculum and education. And then I think this is also important to us to prepare graduates to have a good leadership skill, yeah. And I am appreciate with this seminar, with this event, because indirectly it could be deliver the leadership skill, yeah, for the leader. And then I think I must to, I must to say that today's we must to very take care, we must to very concerned about the ethical and social responsibility. Why the ethical is very important? We cannot realize that through the rapidly of the technology, many of the clever people today, but the people or those people who have a good ethics that have been polite, we miss in that term, yeah. So I'm very hope that all my students and all the participants who attend this seminar, please prepare yourself from the leadership skill and a good ethics, yeah. And then you need to build your social responsibility. The social responsibility is not also important in the real life, but also next after our finish in our real life, yeah. So do not do not do the bad things in our life, because bad things and the good things will be we must be responsible to our God, yeah. And I think is it also important to not only build an accounting knowledge and competencies, but how to build, yeah. Sorry, I'm still in that. Okay, how to build the learning goals and the learning objective means that everything we learn, we must to build what is the learning goals. So I think it's very important to to say to our students that what are the goals actually, or what are the objectives actually from the learning something, yeah. And then okay, then with that skill, I think our graduates can survive and make a good long-term careers, yeah. Maybe you can see the successful student that has been graduate from our university. They're not only just paper, yeah, but they have the another ability, so they can survive, and then they can have a good careers, yeah. Okay, next.
Vivi, sorry, the time is due. Probably maybe you can make 1 minute, the last conclusion for remarks. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dinaro. Okay, I think this is not so important because I believe just actually a little bit, yeah, Mr. Dinaro. Just now, before this, the committee asked me to talk about the SMS, yeah. But I think the another speaker will talk about this. Okay, next. A little bit, yeah. Okay, I think I hope, yeah. I hope all the participants who attend this conference, this seminar, international seminar, could be, give the good contribution to a recovery economy, yeah. So means that if we just, depends on our government to do the recovery situation, it will be hard, yeah. So please take your role, maybe maybe in making a business or doing like the digital transaction to to make the economic is going well again. Yeah. Okay. Then next. Okay. I think the accountant can do is in this condition, yeah, you can also not only be a accountant, but you can also be the advising decision maker. So please prepare yourself with that condition, and then also you can be expertise, yeah, in business advisor service. So please read more about not only about the accounting but also the everything, so you can prepare yourself to challenge with this condition. Okay, next. I think this will take a long time to talk about this. Maybe next seminar, yeah, because actually in this point I will talk about how the government respond to the crisis, but because due to the time, maybe in the Q&A session. Okay, next. Okay, I think okay, finish. Okay, I think, yeah, I'm not to talk many things, but thank you very much, moderator, for the times. I'm sorry, yeah, because the time is over. And I hope all the participants and me myself also can learn from this condition that we must to prepare ourselves not only in the area of accounting but also in the many kind of things, yeah. Because of the opportunity is open now with the condition, yeah. I think this is it for me, and I will back to the moderator. I will close our presentation today with Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Vivi. What a fresh and juicy information. Yeah, if you
Don't forget to
Yes.
don't forget to
Yes.
to follow that Instagram, and then I will give the 2 GoPay for the 2 lucky one. Yeah.
Oh my God. Thank you
Maybe
very
you can
much, Ibu
maybe
Vivi.
you can committee, can you open again the barcode?
Oh yeah, the
Because
QR, yeah?
just
The
now
QR code.
and then at the end of the session, I think I will
Mhm.
inform the the panitia, yeah, about the winner. Yeah, I will
Okay, great. Yeah, probably the committee can use share just probably for a while the QR code of the Instagram.
Yes. You can
So the
capture
participants can follow the Instagram, and then Ibu Vivi at the end will choose to
to the one.
to lucky to lucky participants. Yeah,
Right.
will get some souvenirs. Yeah, from Ibu
Yeah.
Dr. Vivi Smita.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Vivi. While the participants try to to connect with the Instagram, so I will take several remarks from Ibu Vivi. First, we have known that previously the crisis in economy always related to business activities. Yeah, so Ibu Vivi already explained some example about how the crisis happened. But nowadays it's changing, it's shifting a lot. Yeah, sometimes the crisis not only happen because of the business activities, but due to the technology and also about the pandemic can also create crisis. So how we as an accountant and you and you are a student, yeah, the participants as a student have to overcome these situations. Yeah, so Ibu Vivi already explained several steps and way that we as an accountant, as lecturers or student, can anticipate this condition due to this disruption, due to the technological shifting and everything. And Ibu Vivi also have given us several tips, yeah, about how we can also to become resilient with all the recovery economics topics and issues. And yeah, due to the time constraint, Ibu Vivi cannot explain everything, but the committee will share this PowerPoint, of course, with all for all of the participants, so all of you can read it. And then maybe if you have any question, you can ask in the Q&A session, or maybe you can also we can also discuss with Ibu Vivi through the Instagram or probably with the Japri at the outside of the seminar, Ibu Vivi.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Vivi, and committee as well. Thank you for sharing the QR code, and hopefully the two luckiest participants. I hope, the one who lucky are really the one who need the GoPay, or the souvenirs, Ibu Vivi.
Yes.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen and distinguished guests, let's move along to the next speaker. The next speaker is Mr. Yanuar Tejawijaya. Good morning, Mr. Yanuar.
Good morning.
Good morning. Okay, welcome to Banda Aceh, Mr. Yanuar.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pa, and thank you for the invitation today. It's like a very good opportunity, and it will be even luckier if one day I can visit Banda Aceh.
Mudah-mudahan. Before we continue to the presentation, Mr. Yanuar, I would like to also to give some short CV of Mr. Yanuar. Mr. Yanuar has more than 10 years experience in merger and acquisition advisory, and also the director at Deloitte Indonesia. Mr. Yanuar has finished his bachelor degree at the Venus University and then continue for his master degree at Macquarie University, Sydney. He is also the seconded to Deloitte Komatsu Financial Advisory LLC Tokyo, and he also got the CPA from Australia and CA from Indonesia. So he's an accountant and also a programmer, yeah. So we will see from both perspective of an accountant and also from the programmer. So how can this technology can affect the accountant and also affect the business process during the big data analytics and also the disruption of technology. So Mr. Yanuar, you have 25 to 30 minutes to present your presentation. So it's time for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Good morning and assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Can I share my screen?
Okay, committee, please give Mr. Yanuar access to present presentation.
Or someone can help me to show.
You want to share the screen by yourself?
Yeah, but I can't click the button here. Okay.
Actually, you already the co-host.
Okay.
Can you see?
We can see your screen now. Oh, perfect. Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you everyone, and it's a very happy morning for all of us. However, we have to be thankful with the current situation both in Indonesia and globally. I think when we are talking at the end of 2021, as Ibu Vivi previously mentioned about resilience and get back to business, I think it's pretty much everything. So there is a road to recovery from new normal to the resilience. I think, like it or not, the global pandemic has passed few months and several waves. So if we see at the TV, at the media, that so many waves. Luckily in Indonesia, we have one or two or how many waves, but in other countries, even in the more developed countries like Japan, they have faced 3, 5, or how I just lose count about the waves. So I think we are about to build our resilience and how we survive. And if we see some signs of recovery, how we see it, we are almost at the end of tunnel, and we should be optimistic with this. The first one is about the removal of public health measure in some European countries. If we see at some kind of country like Norway and then Denmark and Sweden, it's kind of like in the last one at the mid of September, they have lifted some public health measures on the restriction of gathering, and then they can back to on-site learning, and then their kids can go to school and so on. And then if we see there are more and more countries have borders opening and they remove the quarantine requirements. If we see even like United Kingdom and then some other European countries, and we have to expect that other Southeast Asia countries as well will open their border gradually, and we see our countries as well. And then many companies resume to the business as usual. If you see, like maybe our family, our parents, when we ask them like, did you still do working from home? And then they will say like, oh, we are back to the office gradually, like based on the government regulation on the respective area. And I think we have to be very happy that inshallah by hopefully by the end of this month that many area will go to the like zone 1 or PPKM level 1. Like in, if I'm not mistaken, there is some area in East Java they have approached PPKM level 1, and we have to expect that everyone will be normalized soon as well. And if you see business travels are intensified in all countries in the world, in all area, and higher mobility as well. So this is the sign that we are not talking anymore about new normal, but we are talking about the resilience. So we have to stand and survive. And the business has established more optimistic scenario in 2020. In 22, I mean, in 2022. So if we see many state-owned enterprise, BUM, and even our countries like Ministry of Finance, they build more robust and optimistic scenario in 2022. Okay, and when we are talking here today about accountant achievement and contribution for the recovery, I think we have to be proud with ourselves and you as a young accountant. Why? Because like it or not, accountants are proven as essential workers throughout the world. During the pandemic, we still could work remotely, but we are still counted as essential. Say like I still remember at the first large-scale social restriction last year in March 20 or April 2020, or there is a PSBB, right? Our firm, we provide a tax consulting, we provide public accountant service, we provide financial advisory, and we got actually a license to operate like the normal business because we are counted as essential workers. So we are equipped with letter from OJK and also from Ministry of Finance to operate. However, we proved that even though we work remotely to limit the spread of the virus, we still can contribute a lot for the nation and the people. Another thing, pandemic has shown us that accountant works are actually borderless, and we can go global. So I have a friend, he's sitting here in Jakarta, he's sitting in Indonesia, but he's serving other countries in Singapore, in Vietnam. So that's proof that all of us, even though like what Vivi mentioned previously in her material, that someone worked for Gojek, even though he or she is in Banda Aceh, but he can work for Indonesia. And not only Indonesia, it proves that we can work everywhere in the world. I have my colleague, he was working for Deloitte Australia. So despite the fact that Australia imposed a very strict lockdown and border closure, but my friend still can work for Deloitte Australia. So it shows that actually there are a lot of opportunities for accountant to go global. So I believe that you are way luckier than me or Pak Dinar, because you can show to the world that you are can go global. During our age, we cannot go global with Zoom, and you know the infrastructure and platform is very limited. We have to be on shore at Australia or at somewhere in Europe to work there. But now you just need to wake up earlier. But I think it's okay, right? And then another thing, accountants are helping the business and government with its business acumen, professional judgment, and critical thinking to prepare a basis of information for quick decision-making process. So we are grateful that your lecturer in the university equipped you well with a lot of knowledge, a lot of accounting basis to prepare you, to give you more critical thinking about professional judgment. If you remember in August 2021, last 2 months probably, where, you know, there is a very huge problem about the PCR testing pricing, right? But then, you know, who are actually the man behind the decrease of the price of PCR testing in Indonesia. We have to be thankful with those CA or accountants who work for BPKP, the government audit and supervisory accounting body, right? They monitor everything and they compare until we can have a more affordable PCR testing and many people can have access. So I think all Indonesians should be thankful to the accountant professional that they work hard for the public interest. And then that's why, because of there is a BPKP assessment on the PCR testing in a week, and the week after the price of testing suddenly around in the Indonesia Independence Day at 17 Agustus, the price suddenly dropped, right? Almost half, I can say. So we have to be thankful that that's the business acumen. Accountant is independent, accountant able to show this is the proper and fair pricing for the people of Indonesia, and this impact to the public health. And I also contribute that for young accountant like you, in Ikatan Akuntan Indonesia Instagram, I write that actually management accounting subject should be emphasized, and that's the many students think management accounting is boring subject, right, at the university, but actually it's not. It's really useful because the business can survive if you know about the pricing well. I think that's about accounting. And then industry 4.0 and technology advancement. Well, this is the key which already discussed a lot. We deal with a better processing, and then more data and big data is there. If you see Gojek has like million data in a day. They record all of the movement. They know myself if I go from my house to office, my house to the shopping mall, my house to market, and sometimes they can even remind me whether today I go to the office or not. It's so scary actually how they monitor our mobility, right? But then accountants should be able to leverage that big data. And then if maybe someone who didn't go to accounting school, they will say like maybe our older generation that accountant is kind of bookkeeping. Accounting is like a boring job. Accounting is only someone sit behind the screen. Actually not. We have to know about bookkeeping, we have to know about recording, we have to know about the basic accounting, but the scope of work of accountant is more wider and faster. So until the end of this world, as long as the transaction and money flow is still there, accountant will be always essential and critical. But the thing that you must notice, young accountant will have more opportunity because during the recovery, because they are native to the technology and digitalization. You see, like our firm in Deloitte, we have a sort of artificial intelligence and robotic to perform a lot of vouching and then a lot of auditing. So our young accountant can perform more job, while our boss, our partners, usually they don't know how to operate what kind of those apps. So I think this is the challenge for you as a young accountant to be native with the technology. And how about the digitalization, technology, and the new normal? If we see less physical interaction and more electronic information. So what does it mean? During when I was young, 10 years, 12 years ago, I started my career with advisory work. I never become an auditor, but still as an advisor, sometimes you need to interact with a lot of documents. I need to deal with, a stack of paper documents with dust, and sometimes it makes me, allergic because of a lot of insects or whatever in those stacks of documents. But now we can say, like my young colleague, they don't need to go to the data room or to the warehouse because everything made at the cloud, everything in the cloud, and they just sit at home and skim through and read through and analyze all the documents, which is very convenient. They can check their social media with Instagram, but at the same time they can work. And then financial, tax, and other relevant information are made digital format and electronic submission, especially here in Jakarta, where the government very strict in impose the restriction to mobile. it seems like everyone, okay, my pa, I have sent the information, but in the PDF, even the signature is in PDF form, everything made in the PDF. And then I believe in the next 1 or 2 years, there would be a legal basis for our tax office or our Ministry of Finance to legalize the submission in the PDF format. So it means like you have to be very good in operating the digital format or documentation. But the price of easy digital format will give you, you have to be very familiar in processing digital data and big data and artificial intelligence. So you need to be very smart on controlling this. Why? Because maybe when I was young, my boss can, I can make an excuse, but don't follow me like, oh, I cannot do this part because the data is in a hard copy. It's like a lot of things that I need to retype. But now that's not an excuse because everything can be copy and paste and you can process it. Okay. And recording will be made with strict control and digital audit procedures with more data analytic testing. So there are so many fraud, if you say, if you see in the real world, because of the hard copy. Say I ask someone to show their bank statement, but they can make a fake bank statement, right? But now everything is made online, and you can in the developed countries like in Europe or in Australia, in America, when someone make a confirmation, they directly make a confirmation to the bank. So the authentication is directly made by the bank itself, not by submitting the hard copy, which is they can someone, you know, can remove and then retype it again and photocopy it again and send it, right? That's not the case. Or you can use like Adobe Picture or whatever it is. I think our Ministry of Finance also, the technology we have e-wallet like GoPay, OVO and everything. The SPT for the tax submission is made electronic, e-pajak, tax reform and IT everything, because our government lost a lot of things because of so many hard copies, so many manual process. But when it becomes more electronic, hopefully the tax base, which Ibu Sri Mulyani always say cannot collect, now they can collect as well. Okay, what is the benefit for accountants for technology and economic benefits? Of course, accountant could accomplish its works with technology and simplify its process. Why? Because the recording data is made by system. You don't need to do the bookkeeping anymore because you can download the free apps for UKM, small medium enterprise business or UKM at your mobile phone, and they can record everything. So even though you know like how to make GL, trial balance, but nowadays everything can be made very simple, and then you can sort a lot of transaction. And about the reconciliation, you can just sit back, relax, and you can see which number is not reconciled, and you don't need to do the inputting and matching the data because the system will just notify you if everything is not there. So I think this is should be a synergy between the university, the student, and the professional body and work to make this. But the thing that the SME and big corporation can use is they have to invest more in technology based on their capability. Because if someone mentioned that, oh, the investment for IT is expensive, it really depends. Now IT is very broad. Even small medium enterprise can choose more affordable, more simple program and apps which in line with their business. Okay, and another thing which give you benefit, accountant is pushed to process everything real time. So when your boss, when your business owner asks you as an accountant, you have to show, okay, this is the data, because this will give big economic impacts. Can you mention if in the past it needs a lot of time to review the price of PCR testing, but now accountant can work very fast within 1 week and give the result to the government? This is one example, but we cannot imagine if everything in Indonesia can be processed by accountant, a lot of benefit as well. And many business could capture bigger market through online platform and high-speed internet. You as an accountant, if you have your mother maybe selling a lot of commodity from your city outside Aceh, then if you are a good accountant, then you can advising, okay, mom, you should sell this and this and this to Jakarta because, you know, this is a like highly sought after in Jakarta. So you should sell this. Who should read this data? Accountant. But unluckily now marketing people do this for us. But I would like to show you that accountant is a business leader and you should help everyone to make a quick business decision. And then accountant also have a lot of cost saving through efficiency, not much printing. You don't need to go here and there because you can process everything. And then you don't need to spend a lot of time. So if many accounting body in the world, like I believe Indonesian CPA, Indonesian CA, or CPA Australia, they are aiming that accountants should have more time to take care of their mental health by spending less time for some basic activities. So you can have more time to relax and learn more. So this is the aim of global work about the mental health. But accountant will focus in the job with high value and big impact. So I think this is the key that start from today. Hopefully after this seminar or this event, you should focus on high value and big impact. You can follow our senior at BPKP on how they give analysis for high value and big impact for Indonesia. If they can, you can do it even more than them. So this is something which you should aim in the future. I think this is about some of my last slide about practical tips for future accountant post recovery and what you can contribute. First, the learning platform is everywhere now, and it becomes more and more affordable. You can get so many programs from prominent education provider, not limited only those in your city, but you can also have access even for free. Some materials are made free because they have like social responsibility to educate all people in the world. So improving your competence, improving your ethics, like what Ibu Vivi mentioned before, because, you know, as an accountant, what distinguishes our profession and other? We hold our ethical standard at higher level. You know, if everyone, this has always come to my mind because integrity and ethics is in the heart of accountant. Say you are an auditor of a big SOE, a big BUMN in Indonesia. When you perform a stock count and you didn't see the stock and it's only you at the room, will you say there is a discrepancy or everything is good or there is a discrepancy? Nobody see you. This is the call of the ethical, and accountants should say yes or no. We see or we don't see. Because if, you know, in bahasa Indonesia, there is a joke that yang paling tahu maling adalah malingnya sendiri. Maksudnya, jadi, so it means like, someone who knows to make the fraud in the financial statement is accountant itself. But as an accountant, we have ethical standards and we should not do it. Okay, that's the value of an accountant. And then this is another thing that I highlight from the accounting graduates. I do interview a lot of accounting graduates about the communication. So please make yourself comfortable with a good communication skill, with more advanced communication, both in Bahasa Indonesia, your local language, and English as a global language, because this will give you more advantage, because you can see like how many jobs for accountant in your city. So that's why we should not be afraid with the, you know, Southeast Asia or Asian accountant come to Indonesia, Singapore accountant, Malaysian accountant. Why? Because in Indonesia, we should win this market for us, especially in your city. There are a lot of things that accountant can do, and if you can communicate very articulate in the local language, it will give you a lot of benefit, right? And then pursuing national and global qualification, because when you talk about accountant is profession, not stop only at education. Education and qualification work together to build global and national qualification. We sort a lot of accounting graduates, but someone with, okay, I'm enrolling at CA or CPA Indonesia program or any kind of program will give you advantage, because we receive thousands CV in a day. And then participating in various professional competence and education development like what we have today. It's very easy in the YouTube, in everywhere. So many professional body build this, but you have to participate when you have a time, okay? Be productive in your time. And then another thing is numbers of Indonesia accountants are way below the requirement. So there is a big talent supply and demand. So become a qualified accountant is important. In Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, qualified accountant from 3 professional bodies, less than 50,000. But if we see United States with almost similar size of population in Indonesia, they have like 500,000 accountants, so 500,000 accountant. If we aim for that, we can still have a lot of big market. So we should become a boss in our house in Indonesia. This is our home, okay? Don't let everyone to come in and become the boss for Indonesian. So be the boss in our market. And then learning more about data analytics, inclusivity, sustainable business like green economy and so on. And the last one is critical thinking. Because if we talk about robot and artificial intelligence, all of them are created by human, but human is created by God, which is way more advanced than this. So we have to control them, not being controlled by those AI or robotic. So I think this is to wrap up, and I would be very happy to communicate with you, to discuss with you, and I wish you all the best, especially for Unsia, to build more robust. This is my expectation that I would love to see many Unsia graduates will play more important role nationally and globally to equip their students with this kind of data analytic, inclusivity, sustainable business, because many professional body in the world, maybe in the next 5 years, they will switch their exam from the normal financial reporting or PSAK only IFRS exam to be more data analytics in the next 3 to 5 years. I think that's all for all of you. I hope this will equip you. I give it back to the moderator and the lecturer in Unsia. Okay, I think that's all for me. Thank you very much. Have a good day for today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Yano. Wow, what a great presentation. And there's a lot of information. Wow. Let's give a big applause, a digital applause for Mr. Yanuar and also for the previous presenters. Yeah. Wow. There's a lot of things that I would like to share based on what Mr. Yanuar have been explained to us. But one statement that I love so much is saying that we as an accountant, not just a bookkeeper. I think that's a very motivating word for the students, because we are not just a bookkeeper, but we stand for all condition and all situation. As you know that now we are moving from just a financial accounting to like disaster accounting and then environmental accounting. So it means that accountants are everywhere basically, yeah. And also what Mr. Yanuar have explained about the benefit of accountant based on what technology can give for us, and also some tips that what we have to prepare as an accountant and also the students of accounting program, what will be in the future based on the artificial intelligence, data analytics, and everything. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Anwar. I believe the students and also the lecturer will have a lot of questions for you, but we will postpone it until the Q&A session. Now we move along to the next speaker. Our next speaker, of course, last but not least, the speakers from Malaysia. We would like to invite Ibu Dr. Maya Puspa binti Rahman. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Maya. Ibu Dr. Maya. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Dr. Maya. Assalamualaikum, Ibu Dr. Maya Puspa. We cannot hear your voice yet. Could you unmute your microphone first, please?
Okay. All right. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam.
Masya Allah, the technical glitches. Masya Allah. Yes, Waalaikumsalam.
Welcome to Banda Aceh, Ibu Dr. Maya.
Iya, terima kasih.
Sama-sama. Okay, before we continue to the next session by Ibu Maya, please allow me to introduce a little bit about short CV of Ibu Maya. So Ibu Dr. Maya Puspita binti Rahman is an associate professor at Al-Qasimiyah University in Sharjah, United Arab Emirates. Isn't it, Ibu?
Yes, yes.
Okay, yeah. So Ibu Maya has pursuing her graduate doctoral degree at the IIUM Institute of Islamic Banking Finance in Malaysia, also for her Master of Economics at the same university, and her bachelor degree was in, oh, there's no information here. Okay, so Royal Melbourne Institute of Technology in Australia. Okay, Ibu Maya already has a lot of publications and also has a lot of positions with abundant of experiences, and yeah, and also has several field of research interest. So we would like to discuss more after Ibu Maya presenting her presentation. So Ibu Maya, 25 to 30 minutes, please.
Right, right. Thank you, Bapak ya, Bapak Dinar.
Dinar, yes.
Yes. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Rabbi zidna ilman nafi'a warzuqna fahma. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, I think I have to say that I'm very, very honored, yeah, to be here with all of you today. Thank you, the Committee of Fakultas Economy and Business, for inviting me. Universitas Syiah Kuala Aceh, yeah. I think the last time I went to Indonesia was at the end of 2019, just before the pandemic started, yeah. I was invited to UIN Kalijaga in Yogyakarta. Yeah, so it was a good experience as well, and of course Malaysia have always been, you know, very, very close. We work very closely with Indonesia and whatnot. Yeah. I enjoyed the the presentation by Dr. Fifi earlier, yeah, talking about a lot of things. Yeah, one of the things about economic resilience. Mr. Yanuar also, I enjoyed his insights, yeah, talking about the roles of accountant, and I purely agree that accountant will always be essential and critical. In fact, I'm teaching here in Al-Qasimiyah University. One of the courses that I teach is Principle of Finance, but we started off with the essential of financial accounting. Yeah, so it's really very much linked together. Yeah. And of course, this particular seminar is dedicated to accountants, yeah, future accountants, inshallah. But I'll be speaking more from the perspectives of economics and finance, inshallah. Yeah. So in fact, let me also share my screen. In fact, where is it? The title, yeah, that have been given to me is basically the process of economic adaptation and adjustment to new condition during the recovery period, right? So all of you can see my screen, yeah?
Yes, very clear.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So I just basically resume to the discussion. Oh yes, before I forget, I would also like to reiterate, yeah, what Mr. Yanuar or Bapak Yanuar mentioned earlier about the accountants need to be analytical, yeah, to be critical thinking, and now you have to be digital, yeah, and I really like the ethical part where Mr. Yanuar highlighted earlier, yeah. Yang paling tahu maling itu adalah malingnya sendiri. So it's very, mashallah, yeah, it's very, very accurate. So now, okay, let's come back to my presentation. Like I mentioned, I would like to basically discuss more from the perspectives of economics and finance, inshallah. So the focus of my presentation, and hopefully it will not go beyond 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes, yeah. We're going to have to, I'll bring you back to a quick look on the COVID-19 impact, particularly on the job markets, because I think this is what one of the essential thing, yeah, or the critical thing, and it's very much closer to our heart, yeah, because all of us, like all of the new accountants will also be seeking for jobs, yeah, all of us were also affected, yeah, by the economic situation and whatnot, yeah, in one way or another, right? And then we look into overviewing the current state of the economy. Yeah, of course, when you talk about the current state of the economy, yeah, we'll be looking at the what do you call it, the leading indicators or the main indicators, normally the GDP or the interest rate forecast. Yeah, of course, from the perspective of the economy, there are many different types of leading indicators. Yeah. Like inflation and whatnot, but I think given the time, yeah, I'd like to basically focus on two main indicators, right? And last but not least, yeah, so there's only three parts of my presentation, inshallah. So it's going to be the economic adaptation to new conditions during economic recovery period. Some of the things have already been mentioned by the docent, yeah, Dr. Fifi earlier, and also Mr. Yanuar, yeah. So it's just like a re-emphasis or maybe giving you some insights, yeah, from my perspective, yeah, inshallah. So, okay, let's look at the unemployment rate in the Asian region first. Yeah, I think when you look in terms of the economic reports and whatnot, we were also being impacted quite, what do you call it, heavily or severely, yeah, by the pandemic, right? The unemployment rate has increased from 2.5% in 2019 to 3.1% in 2020, according to the International Labour Organization reports. Yeah. And it's also reported that 6.7 million workers that have left unemployment in 2020 has went into economic inactivity. Yeah. So what is economic inactivity? They are no longer blend with the economy. They are no longer contributing to the economy. Let's say, for example, particularly female labor. Yeah. Those who have lost their jobs and mainly because of the what do you call it, downscaling by the companies, yeah, the layoffs and things like that, and also because some of the like the childcare centers are also being closed down, yeah, forcing them to leave their jobs and taking care of the kids and whatnot. So these are some of the issues, yeah, that has been what do you call it, increase in terms of the numbers, yeah, particularly or affecting the job market, yeah, of late after the pandemic, right? Yes, young workers have also been hard hit, yeah, or hit hard by the pandemic. Yeah, the ILO also reported about 6.2% youth employment losses. Yeah, meaning to say this youth employment losses is when they did a forecasting between the employment versus the actual employment. Yeah, they basically did an analysis. Yeah, should there be no crisis? Yeah, what would be the forecasted employment be and versus the actual employment. Yeah, so if we were to compare with regards to the youth employment losses, yeah, they have been relatively higher if we were to compare with the employment losses for adults, which is only 2.8%. Yeah, in fact, even before the pandemic, youth unemployment has always been relatively higher than the unemployment rate. Yeah, in Malaysia, I remember even when we were having about 3.5% unemployment rate, yeah, but the youth unemployment rate is normally or has always been double digit, yeah, 10%. And if I could remember correctly, last May, yeah, they were talking about the numbers has been increased from 10% to 13%, yeah, only on the youth unemployment, right? So again, these young workers have been hard hit by the pandemic. Yeah, so that's the fact number 2, right? Labor income, yes, there was also because of the job losses and things like that. So about 7.8% labor income was lost in 2020. So how much is this? This basically corresponds to about 100 billion worth of income. Yeah, if we were to basing it based on the 2019 exchange rate. Yeah, or if you want to actually compare it against the GDP, this basically around 3.3% 30% of the Asian region's GDP. So again, what we are saying is that the pandemic has basically given a big impact to the job market, to the employment sector. Not only one sector, but across all. The health sector, the tourism was badly hit. And of course the businesses closure and things like that. What about in the OECD countries? Where the first few points, earlier points, were talking about, or particularly focusing into Asian. But when we look in terms of the OECD countries, they're also not excluded from feeling the impact. Around 22 million jobs were lost across 2020. And again, the number of young people which is not in employment or education training has also been significantly increased by almost 3 million, or about 12% of the NEET rate. So again, this is also something that we have to be aware, we have to be alert on. And of course now we are talking about the economic recovery phase and things like that, right? So we are of course in the hope that the job market would slowly be stabilized and things like that, with a lot of openings and whatnot, inshallah. All right, I basically take this one from the OECD Employment Outlook. I think Bapak Yanuar or Mr. Yanuar earlier also mentioned about WFH, and how alhamdulillah the accountants have been able to still work from home, even during the pandemic and whatnot. So this basically also relate to what Mr. Yanuar has basically mentioned earlier. But of course, not everyone has been able to work remotely during the pandemic. Why not? Because of the nature of the jobs itself. I think for education industry, we are very much alhamdulillah, on the lucky side. Alhamdulillah, we are very much privileged, we are very much grateful that even with the closure of the universities, the the inability to open a physical face-to-face classes, we are still able to get the education, get the knowledge. Now we are using, everything is using online, so there is no more barrier. In fact, me being in United Arab Emirates, currently it's around 8 o'clock in the morning, versus Indonesia, which is 3 hours earlier. So it's around 8, 9, 10, 11, somewhere there, right? Malaysia is 4 hours earlier, right? So again, coming back to this particular slide, or figure, we can see that those who have the necessary education background, would still be able to work from home, as you can see in terms of the distribution, right? And only relatively speaking, if we were to compare those who have high school or without any educational or formal educational background, the percentage of work stop, or stopping work or getting out from the labors and whatnot is relatively higher, for those who do not have a formal education background. So this is basically the fact, because and I'm sure the trend would also be somehow similar to other countries as well. Of course, this data is basically taken from the OECD itself, but the pattern, we can agree, that it also be somehow similar because of the nature of the job, right? And things like that. Okay, I also take this figure, from the International Labour Organization, simply to show the comparison or the forecast, when they do a forecasting based on the unemployment, forecasted employment, should there be no pandemic versus the actual employment. So as you can see, The dashed line is basically the employment should there be no pandemic scenario, and it should be on uptrend, yeah, because a lot of job openings, yeah, the economy growth and whatnot, yeah, are not being affected by the pandemic. But because of the COVID-19, we can see that starting in 2019, the job market has started, or actual employment has started to be reduced significantly. Yeah, and in 2020, most of the Asian countries were badly hit. Yeah, about the difference about 10.6 millions, yeah, of workers. Hence, this basically gave us the true scenario of what's happening, yeah, and how the pandemic has basically affected the job market, right? Okay, another interesting figure, yeah, that I like to also share is when they did this analysis, yeah, basically from the OECD report, when they compare the COVID-19 crisis vis-a-vis the global financial crisis. We know that global financial crises have hit hard, yeah, on most of the economics all over the world, yeah. I remember I was still working in the fund management industry during that time in 2007. I only joined the academic world or sector in 2011, yeah, 2011, yeah, or early 2011. So I was still working during the global financial crisis, and being in the fund management industry, I was able to witness that all of the asset classes were being hit, yeah. Normally, when we were in fund management, yeah, of course, some of you who have learned on on stock markets, yeah, bonds are basically being the fixed income, right? You'll be able to get the fixed income over a certain period of times and whatnot. And normally we would basically have this bond market to be the alternative to stock market, yeah. Meaning to say, if let's say the stock market is not doing so well, yeah, some of the funds would be allocated more into the bond market and things like that. But during the global financial crisis, 2007, 2008, yeah, none of the asset classes were being excused from getting the impact. All of the asset classes, yeah, be it a bond, be it stocks, yeah, money market, yeah, let alone properties, yeah, we don't even have to talk about properties, yeah. But if we were to compare or focus on financial assets, yeah, like bonds, stocks, money market, all of them were being hit hard, yeah. So during that time, yeah, of course, some of you may also recall, yeah, if you read the history, yeah, like the students particularly, but like Mr. Yanwar, Dr. Fifi, and some of the committees, yeah, would be able to actually reflect what had happened, yeah, during the global financial crisis 2007, 2008. So, but yeah, having said that, if we were to compare it with the COVID-19 crisis, particularly in terms of the job impacts, yeah, the impact has been 10 times bigger than that of the previous global financial crisis, all right? So meaning to say that if we were to basically imagine, yeah, how it has been impacting the job market, or not imagine, we recall, yeah, we had basically agreed that it was bad. Yeah, a lot of jobs has been lost. Yeah, a lot of companies were also having difficulties. Governments have to bail some of the big companies. Yeah, particularly in the US and in all other countries as well. In Indonesia, in Malaysia, we were also feeling the impact. But then again, when we were comparing it with the COVID-19 crisis, the impact on jobs is basically 10 times bigger. Yeah, particularly in OECD countries. But of course, we can also relate this to the current situation as well. Yeah, so that's how big, yeah, or that's how severe we have been impacted, yeah, by the pandemic, right? So now let me go to the second point, yeah. After we have talked about the impact on the job market, yeah. Let's look at the current state of the economy. And I've mentioned earlier that I'll only be looking at two indicators, mainly on the GDP growth as well as the interest rates. Yeah. So let's look at some of the Bloomberg consensus. For those of you who haven't heard about what Bloomberg is a financial real-time financial database. Yeah, so most of the financial institutions or research houses, would have subscribed to Bloomberg. It is essential because it shows a real-time information, and we need that, especially when we are in the analytical works. We have to write reports. We have to basically showcase the actual situation, and reflects the actual situation and whatnot. So we need all these numbers. So again, for you accountant, if you have the chance to go to Bloomberg, and if you were to look into company analysis, having to investigate or do analysis on the performance of the companies, all of the company's information, including the financial statements, are available in Bloomberg, the updated ones. Of course, only the public listed companies, like all those public listed companies in Jakarta Stock Exchange and whatnot, you can find in Bloomberg. So the Bloomberg consensus, as we can see here, this is the percentage change of GDP year-on-year basis. So I only refer to some advanced countries, like US, Western, Japan, and China, and of course some Asian countries, including Malaysia and Indonesia. So as we can see, most of the countries except China and Vietnam, have recorded negative growth in 2020. And now, of course, we are close to the third quarter of 2021, and we can see that the consensus, have been on the positive side, on the growth of the GDP. It's very interesting, because we can see that now, like what Brother Yanwar and Dr. Fifi have also highlighted, the opening of economics activity. Some of the companies have managed to start off, their businesses with the assistance of the government, with the assistance of the private institutions and whatnot. So it becomes very, very imminent. And we are also hopeful with this kind of positive recovery. China has been showing a very interesting recovery, of course. Despite the fact that the pandemic was basically initiated in China, they managed to have some sort of a V-shaped recovery. If you look at the data, quarter-on-quarter data, in the first quarter, for example, in the first quarter of 2020, they have recorded negative growth, but immediately in the second quarter, they have managed to basically rebound, and have a V-shaped kind of recovery. And if we were to look in terms of the the key, the key to their growth, is basically on the enforcement of stricter controlling measures, the emergence of online economic activities. So this is what we're going to be talking a lot or discussing a lot, in this few minutes, of given time, right? So the emergence of online activities has also become one of the boosting factor, or the critical factors that have contributed to the growth of China, particularly. If I could remember, I read one report that Alipay, Alibaba and Alipay is basically associated. Alipay is able to do 300,000 transactions per second. Imagine that, 300,000 transactions per second. So it's enormous, right? And without the digital technology, whatever we have been talking, since early in the morning, we will not be able to reach that kind of stage, without the growth of the technology and whatnot. So Indonesia, also like Malaysia, we had recorded negative growth, and for the 2021, it is hopeful that, and these are the expected, or the consensus that we would be coming back to a positive territory, inshallah. And of course, when we were to basically look, normally the economists would look at the GDP and of course interest rate and some other leading indicators as well, some other indicators, economic indicators. For the interest rate, for example, we can see the trend of the interest rate, because this would be some sort of a signal where the economy is actually going. Yeah, for example, if we look at Indonesia, yeah, in 2020, the change, yeah, or the percentage of the interest rate has been 3.75%, and then maintain or reduce a little bit, expected 3.5%. Then you can see in 2022, 3.9, and then 4.15 in 2023. Yeah, similarly, like Malaysia, we have our benchmark rate to be around 1.75, maintained there, and then gradually increase from 2.05 and then 2.3%. So from the economic perspective, what does this reflect is that the what do you call it? The government, yeah, is basically positive on the growth, yeah, of the economy, because you can only raise interest rates in during economic recovery. Yeah, you can't actually raise interest rates during the recession. That's why if you were to reflect during the global financial crisis, yeah, the interest rate has been maintained at a very low level, yeah, in the US, in the Malaysia particularly, and in most of the countries in the world. Yeah, so again, this consensus, yeah, that is coming from Bloomberg showing the trend of the interest rate, yeah, would also be a good indicators, yeah, that the economic recovery is actually, inshallah, in the good what do you call it, good pace, yeah, or in the right pace, right, inshallah. Okay, so now this is my last point, yeah, some views on the economic adaptation to new conditions during economic recovery period. Yeah, when we talk about economic adaptation, yeah, what is economic adaptation? It's basically adapting to the new situation, right? So this economic adaptation is vital for all of the economic units in the economy, yeah, being consumers, being firms, governments. Yeah, I also could relate to what Dr. Fifi mentioned earlier. Yeah, we can't actually rely totally on the government. So hence there must be a good public-private what do you call it, corporations, yeah, in order to boost the economy, right? So there is a need to basically adjust to the rapid change in the new economic environment and the new normal. And in italic there, I put not really business as usual, not to say in contradicting to what Mr. Yanwar mentioned, because in one of the slides, Mr. Yanwar said business as usual. Yeah, what I meant here, not really business as usual, because all of these economic units have to be adaptive to somehow or other the digital revolution. Yeah, everything that we do today has to be linked with the technology, right? I'm sure most of you would agree that with the restriction of movement, yeah, we have been relying on online shopping. We have been relying a lot on our handphones, yeah, so we order food from our handphone. So the Grab food has been emerged, yeah, as one of the important what do you call it, platforms, yeah, or apps in our handphone. Food Panda in Malaysia, Talabat in UAE. So we have been relying a lot on them, yeah, because we can't actually go out, simply go out. But now, yes, inshallah, yeah, everything has started to open slowly, yeah, and some of us have been allowed to go to our own office, yeah, but with a lot of restriction. Like in UAE, we are still required to wear the masks, yeah, in public. Oh, of course, there are some of public places that they have actually loosened out a bit, yeah, but still it's one of the main requirement. Vaccination, yeah, everybody has to be vaccinated. In fact, I have to also emphasize that the economic recovery is basically relying a lot on the widespread vaccination distribution. Yeah, why? Because this would basically promote health security, and it's critical to ensure economic growth everywhere. Yeah, so it's very much vital, yeah, in terms of the vaccination and whatnot, right? Okay, now during the pandemic, yeah, I've mentioned this, yeah, digital technology has served as the vital economic stabilizer, yeah, on our reliance. Yeah, that's why when we talk about business as usual, the business is as usual subject to the usage of technology. Yeah, I remember I had done a research back in 2018, yeah, on the exposure or the knowledge of the SMEs in Malaysia on digital economy. Yeah, so we interviewed several companies. Yeah, most of them, some of them have online platforms, but most of them do not have. And we tried to gauge their understanding on digital economy, how they can contribute towards digital economy. Yeah, why? Because in Malaysia there has been a target of achieving or the about 20%, yeah, of the GDP to be coming from digital economy beyond 2020. Yeah, so during that time, right? But then again, because we were talking about the times before the pandemic, the research was done in 2018. So when we were interviewing these companies, yeah, about their understanding on digital economy, whether they're on online platform, whether they know about e-commerce, whether they know about the free trade zone, yeah, which gives them the opportunity to open up e-commerce platforms with a lot of initiatives and incentives, yeah. I think about less than 20% of them, yeah, has a good knowledge of what e-commerce or digital economy is all about, yeah, because there hasn't been a need to be involved. The shops were there, the physical shops were there, yeah, people are able to go shopping physically, and there is a very lesser need, yeah, for them to be involved in e-commerce platform or digital economy and whatnot, yeah. But everything has changed, of course, yeah. So that's hence, yeah, we can also say that in order for the business to go as usual, there must be an adaptation to the digital revolution. Yeah, so again, I think I would also like to echo what the World Bank has actually put forward. Yeah, one of the 4 key focus area for economic recovery is to leverage on digital revolution. Yeah, and of course, this is the new economic adaptation that all of the economic units must be adhering to. Yeah, so we are talking about digital connectivity. Yeah, how good is the internet penetration is of course the main key factors that the government has to ensure. I'm sure in Indonesia also, yeah, the internet penetration is also a very, what do you call it, the rate very convincing, I'm sure. Yeah, I haven't checked on the particular internet penetration, but if you were to compare to Malaysia, it's around 90%. Yeah, because there must be a need to ensure on the digital connectivity, yeah, the digital entrepreneurship. Everybody, most of those people who are in business must embrace the technology. Yeah, otherwise they'll be left behind. Yeah, people will not be able to reach you, yeah, in this particular situation. And of course, yeah, there's also a report talking about the possibility of taxation of digital platform, yeah, to ensure the, what do you call it, that this would also give additional revenues to the government and whatnot. Yeah, so it is also very, very much important. Yeah. Last but not least, yeah, the continuous efforts and emphasis on fintech. Yeah, so we have been, you know, like talking about a lot of industrial revolution 4.0, like what Mr. Yanuar mentioned. Yeah, the big data, the importance of all, not only accountants, but all students, yeah, to be familiar with big data analysis, yeah, what is artificial intelligence and things like that. But when you look in terms of the fintech, yeah, we have this digital banking efforts, yeah, which has been rapidly growing, right? In if I could quote some of the stats, yeah, in Indonesia, I suppose you have this Bank Syariah Aladdin, yeah, and Blue. In Hong Kong, they have actually given 8 virtual bank, digital bank licenses. In Singapore, they have issued about 4 licenses on digital banking. Malaysia have also issued a licensing framework for digital bank last year, 2020. They are planning to give 5 licenses, but they have received 29 applications. So there is a very, what do you call it, everybody is so excited to be part of this. Yeah, in fact, in UAE itself, just a couple of months back in August, yeah, Abu Dhabi have launched what they call as Amwali. Yeah, this is the world's first digital Islamic bank, the first Islamic digital bank. So it's very, very much interesting. Yeah, they are targeting to for those who age 8 until 18, what they call as Gen Y, as well as Gen Z, yeah, the millennial as well as Gen Z. So this would basically encourage more smart saving, and of course with the availability of digital banking, yeah, they are also looking into financial inclusivity, yeah. So a lot of things has been ongoing, yeah, on the digital banking effort only, right? And if I were to touch a little bit on crowdfunding, yeah, this crowdfunding has also been one of the biggest reliance, yeah, by the small businesses, because apart from getting financing from the banks or the government, yeah, financial assistance and whatnot, they can also do it via crowdfunding, yeah. So if I could share quickly with you some of the what do you call it, statistics, yeah, particularly on equity crowdfunding, and this effort has been ongoing since if I could remember correctly, 2019 or early 2020, yeah. So as you can see here, there have been 214 successful campaigns, yeah, which about 294 millions of ringgit Malaysia have been raised, and this is basically by the companies as well, yeah, by the small entrepreneurs, not to say small, yeah, but relatively not that big, yeah, because they are not they basically choose to have the funding from the crowd rather than from the banks or the government itself, yeah. And as you can see, interestingly, yeah, the age demographic, those who have been biggest contributor is those who are below 35, yeah. So again, with all of these things, yeah, I believe that the new normal, yeah, again, or the business as usual is having a big reliance, yeah, on the digital revolution, yeah, of course, in order for them to sustain in the new world, yeah. The new world is having the high usage of technology, and the pandemic is basically pacing up, yeah, the use of the technology, the COVID-19, yeah. So that is why I would like to end my presentation, and I hope I adhere to the given time, yeah. I'd like to end this with Winston Churchill saying, famous quotation, yeah, the optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty, yeah. So we can say that the pandemic has given us new way, yeah, to embrace the technology, not only in finance, but in all other sectors as well, yeah. So yes, I think that would be all, yeah. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here.
Thank you very much, Dr. Maya. Let's give a big applause for a digital applause for Ibu Maya, and also for the previous presenters. Wow, this is a new insight for us as an accountant, yeah, because we know seeing it from the macro perspective, yeah, from economist perspective. And Ibu Maya have already explained very thorough about what happened with the sectors, economic sectors, yeah. Previously, we are talking about probably micro sectors, about what happened with the small and medium enterprises and everything. But Ibu Maya tried to overlook from the how to say, the broader perspective, yeah.
Macro perspective.
Yeah, from macro perspective, exactly. So thank you very much, Ibu Maya, Ibu Dr. Maya. And now let's go to the next session, that is Q&A sessions. So for the participants or lecturers who have attended our meeting today, our webinar today, to ask directly to one of the presenters, yeah, or maybe one question for all, yeah. So it's time for you to raise your hand, and then maybe you can talk or ask directly to the presenters. Or for the one who want to, how to say, give the question by chat, it's also okay. And then I will, how to say, I will ask the question on behalf of you. So everyone want to ask? And please mention your name and your affiliation, and then for whom you want to ask the questions. Okay. Does anyone want to ask the question? Okay, from the committee already sent me one question. I think it's from Intan. The question is for Ibu Dr. Maya. Intan said that which sector that has the biggest impact with the economic recovery in the macro perspective, Maya. So probably, yeah, you can give insight a little bit about the question.
Right, right. Thank you, Sister Intan, yeah, for the question. Right. I think in terms of those who can actually lead, yeah, we mentioned about different sectors that have been impacted, yeah, particularly the tourism sector has been greatly impacted and whatnot. But I believe that one of the sectors that can actually lead in terms of the economic growth, yeah, would be the financial sector, yeah, because we have been talking also a lot about the fintech. We have been talking about the what do you call it, the fast growing digital banking. Everybody wants to be in digital banking, yeah, by offering the what do you call it, the financial facilities and whatnot. And we, if you look in terms of the economic perspective, yeah, the growth of the economy can also be supported by the lending activities, yeah, because when you have a lot of monies to be spent, for example, yeah, or the market that is given what do you call it, or the financial accessibility given to entrepreneurs, yeah, that they are able to expand, yeah, they're able to make their bigger their what do you call it, businesses much bigger, right? And this would also be able to contribute to the growth of the economy, yeah. So I suppose since we are also already been discussing on the fintech and whatnot, yeah, so financial sector would give a good what do you call it, important sector, yeah, to be leading the economic growth in most of the countries, generally speaking, yeah, inshallah.
Okay, Bu Munir, continuing the Intan's questions, we know that Southeast Asian is the, how to say, the biggest population is Muslim, but we've seen that the Islamic finance is not as fast as the conventional in terms of development. What do you think the hindered or the obstacle why the Islamic finance is not as fast as the conventional in our region, especially in Malaysia, Indonesia, that we have the biggest Muslim population in the world?
Right, right. Yeah, I think it's a very, very good question. Yeah, but I would like to look at it from rather or reflect it from a different perspective. Yeah, because we are talking about Islamic finance who are merely about 40 years old, I think. Yeah, so about 40 or 45 years old. I remember the first, what do you call it, in Malaysia. Yeah, the first institution that has been established, Tabung Haji, in 1960s. Yeah, so now, yeah, the age of Islamic finance is around 40 or 45 or 50 years old. Yeah, so we can't when we want to compare with the conventional finance, which has been more than 100 years. Yeah, so relatively speaking, we are growing already at a very bigger or fast pace. Yeah, but of course we have to be, you know, because there's a lot of challenges that we need to face. Yeah, I think in the first few years of the contracts and whatnot, yeah, from buy vitamin Ajil, now we are moving forward to Tawaruk, yeah, a lot of financial innovations and things like that. So I would say that we have been growing rather impressively, yeah. But yes, despite the fact that we have the biggest, like Indonesia having the biggest population, Muslim population, yeah, but the conventional finance has been there for many, many years, yeah, and some of us, yeah, are still also supporting conventional finance and things like that. So I suppose yes, your question is very, what do you call it, reflective of the current situation, but we also need to look at it from a positive perspective, yeah, on how much, because we are not comparing like apple to apple. If let's say they are similar age, yeah, because like us, yeah, how can I compare my growth with someone who is much younger than me and say that, oh, you are not that competent and whatnot, yeah, because he or she is merely 20 years old and I'm already, you know, like close to 50, so it's not comparable. Yeah, so I hope that's basically answer your question, inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Dr. Maya. Okay, let's get to the next question. The question is from okay, Muhammad Lutfi. I think this question is to Mr. Yanuar. Mr. Yanuar, the question is, we are on the pandemic situation at the moment. So in your opinion, what kind of business strategy is appropriate for the business makers or for someone who want to start up the business in this situation? Yanwar? Mr. Yanwar? Are we still connecting with Mr. Yanwar at the moment, committee? Or oh, okay. So I got information from Mr. Yanwar. Probably Mr. Yanwar already left the meeting Zoom for a while. Probably at the end, maybe he will join us again. So probably because this is talking about the business strategy, maybe Ibu Dr. Vivi Yusmita, could you give some insight and some opinion about what kind of business strategy that is suitable for this kind of situation? Ibu Dr. Vivi? Ibu Dr. Vivi? Are we still connect with Ibu Dr. Vivi? Ibu Vivi? Committee? Ibu Vivi is still here? Hello, Ibu Vivi? Okay, yeah.
Just now
Okay,
I couldn't
yes.
speak because I'm still in unmute mood.
Oh,
Yeah?
okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, Ibu Vivi.
Sorry.
That's a
Yeah.
good question from Lutfi. Probably you can maybe give some opinion about this.
What's the question?
The question is,
Mr.
we
Ed?
are on the pandemic situation at the moment. On your
Right.
opinion, what kind of business strategy is suitable or appropriate with this kind of situation?
Oh, I think in this condition, in the pandemic situation, the good strategy is we must to adapt with condition. We must to adapt with the technology. So means that like what have been explained earlier by all the speaker. I think the digital technology, it could be one approach that can be used by a businessman or businesswoman today, or to start or that digital strategy is become a strategy to your business. Yeah, I think that's it, Denaro, for now. And then you must to know your customer as well. Yeah. Everything we produce the product, we must to know very well about our customer. And then we must to see also the trend. Yeah, for example, for selling the dress, now I think all the how to say, the millennials, I think, they sell from they didn't have the shop. They only have the followers. Yeah, so through that followers, they send many kinds of the products. So I think that's a new strategy in this era. So we move to the the traditional perspective. For example, if we want to sell something, we must to have a shop. But now we move from that perspective to the modern millennial perspective. So I think that's a good ways to the newcomer in the business to use that approach. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Vivi. And yeah, there's also the next question is related to what have you answered just a moment, Ibu Vivi. The question is from Agnia. So Agnia is saying that what is the biggest role that the millennial generation can give to contribute in recovering economics, especially in Indonesia and also in the Southeast Asia? This is also the question also for Ibu Dr. Maya as well, yeah, in macro. So let's start with Ibu Vivi first. Yeah.
Oh, okay. What is the
contribution, the role of millennial generations, in supporting the economic recovery?
Yes, I think the millennial, it can be an advisor, yeah, or the influencer. I think no millennials goes very fast, yeah. Even like us as a lecturer cannot catch up the rapidly, rapidly, how to say, the rapidly movement of their the millennial. So I think as the millennials in this era, you could be as an advisor and also the good influencer to your audience. That's it. Yeah. If you can take that role in the positive way, you can reach or you can achieve your goals. So please, please be clever, or please be a smart student in this era, and put your role in the right place. I think that's it, Minaro.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Fifi. So the young generation should be an advisor because they are more, how to say, more close to gadget, yeah, more close to technology
Yes,
rather than
right.
us, yeah.
Yeah, different
The
with
colonial.
it's different with like me, maybe, yeah, because maybe we just touch down with the phone when we need something to send, but the millennial, I think, almost 24 hours with the gadget, so they can anytime share the information to the other. So I think, no, they have play a main role in term of influence their followers. Yeah.
Okay, so how about Ibu Dr. Maya? So what is your opinion about the role of the young generation, the millennial generation, to support, to contribute in the economic recovery, Maya?
Right, I totally support what Dr. Fifi mentioned earlier, yeah, being the advisor and the influencer. But one of the most important thing, yeah, for the millennial is to have the continuous passion for knowledge. Because when we talk about industrial revolution, we talk about this fintech, AI, big data analysis and whatnot. These are all new things, yeah. So they must be having an open mind, yeah, with regards to knowledge, willingness to learn, yeah, to relearn and to unlearn some of the skills. Yeah, so these are the things that I believe most of the millennials across the globe need to do. Yeah, because like what Dr. Fifi said, they are almost 24 hours with the gadget. Yeah,
Right.
so
Very.
yeah, but we are not. I mean, yeah, we use the phone only when we need it, but for them
Right.
it's like mashallah. Yeah, so yeah, that's from my point of view, inshallah.
Okay, thank you very much, Ibu Dr. Maya and Dr. Fifi. So welcome back, Mr. Yanuar. So we have a question also for you, Mr. Yanuar. It's from Muhammad Lutfi, and he wants to know from your perspective, from your opinion, what kind of business strategy that is suitable and proper during this pandemic situation from the practitioner inside. So please, Mr. Yanuar.
Yeah, I think from the business perspective, a topic about a business in terms of service, especially kind of like intangible service, is kind of like really important and essential, especially, like, because everyone just cannot access the office easily. They need like a third party, right? So if you are becoming a consultant or accountant, we have to be thankful with any situation or problem, because in the problematic or in the trouble situation like this, more and more problem, but we can still work and provide advice and consulting work. So I think the thing with the consultant and accounting, say like now, there are so many tax dispute, tax audit from the government, and then we can provide more service. So service industry is something which is growing, and then it has never end, because everyone will need our service back. And then during this pandemic, initially our firm as a consulting firm thought that our revenue will decline. Eventually we survive, and more clients come to us to ask our help as an accountant and finance practitioner. I think whatever in the world, if you see any consulting firm, they book quite a good client during this pandemic. In any aspect, but during the pandemic accounting, pandemic finance, every restructuring of the business. So I think it's an opportunity for all of us. If I can share a bit in Bahasa Indonesia, this is just a joke, yeah. This is not something which is quite serious, but there is a joke. Many people will say like three profession: akuntan, konsultan pajak, dan auditor matinya belakangan. Artinya, so it means if there is a big disaster happen, all of us will survive. I'm not saying we need to go to the trouble, but we will survive, Pak.
Oh, so how about economist, Pak? Apakah matinya belakangan juga, Pak? Bareng sama akuntan.
Hopefully no. If you ask me, Pak, I don't expect anyone to go bankrupt, Pak. Everyone should survive. That's my prayer.
Okay, so continuing from what have you explained, but for example, like in Aceh, probably we are not so as developed as like in Jakarta, for example. We don't have a lot of manufacturing industry here. Probably, like you say, like a taxation consultant is not so, let's say, not so common here in Aceh. So what is your suggestion for Acehese entrepreneurs who want to develop a new business or startup in Aceh that we still have, let's say, mediocre of economic activity here in Aceh? What is your suggestion, Mr. Yanwar?
Yeah, I think Pak, for Aceh has a lot of super smart candidates for future entrepreneurs and accountants. So I think in this era of technology, if we see a few days ago in Solo, the Shopee has another office in Solo, right? Maybe I think as Aceh is becoming one important hub in Sumatra, if many people can access to internet and then establish their local expertise, and then I think I think this is the what we call in English is like berkah pandemi. I think it shows that Jakarta is actually nothing, because you know, the wealth of the people in Indonesia is spread out through the nation. So I think this is berkah pandemi, that everyone can be a good accountant in Aceh and then working or tax consultant, as long as they are capable. No one will see whether they are from Aceh or other city, as long they have a good capabilities. So I think first you need to focus on the local market first, and then to develop. So because you mentioned that in Aceh not many manufacture, it means still a lot of things that you can do, but like in retail business, F&B business, and then trading business in Aceh, Pak, to develop what is actually successful outside Aceh and to bring it to Aceh people, Pak. Also education provider. There is a city, Pak, if you ever heard in other developed countries, they become the role model of student city. So I think Aceh is a very conducive in terms of learning situation and everything. That can be one of the center in Sumatra, because other Sumatra is focusing now in plantation, palm oil plantation, like in Malaysia as well, and also in manufacture. Now Aceh should develop more, Pak, on that.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yanwar. So it means that whenever we are, in which area we are, so when we are develop our competence, then we can work borderless, like what have you explained in your presentation, So it means
Yes,
that
Pak.
so we're not just, how to say, like rigid in one place just to work in one place, but we can be in somewhere else, Okay, very good, Mr. Yanwar. So it's like a motivation also for the students here in Aceh, because let's say that because in Aceh we have a conflict for 26 years before the tsunami happened in Aceh, So we we know it's still struggling. Like you say, we are discussing placing because of also of the tsunami. There's a lot of people came to Aceh. We get a lot of aid, So you know, we finally can increase our human resource by getting scholarship from the aid. But if we compare with 20 years ago, then Acehese people is still very, very, how to say, we are still very, very developing, how to say. So thank you very much, Mr. Yunus. Maybe you want to add more?
Yeah, Pak. It's very interesting that actually this is what I learned from Japanese, Pak. I used to work and live in Japan for Deloitte Japan at that time, and then I met many Japanese, and then Aceh is very famous in Japan, Pak, because many Japanese who wants to study about tsunami, they take a sample and case from Aceh, so they frequently fly to Aceh. And then what we learn, Pak, usually those people who are affected significantly because something, they build their own resilience even stronger than other people. That's what Japanese, Pak, because in Japan every month is like 3 or 4 times earthquake and tsunami threat, but they still can survive. So I think, and even they build stronger, Pak. I think Aceh has a big potential on this, especially, you know, but this is like a blessing for me in the last week, in the last few weeks, when I received this invitation from Unsia, that I keep ordering mie Aceh several times, and I would like to go to Aceh, because here in Jakarta the mie Aceh only have a small prawn. I wish to have the big prawn in Aceh itself.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yanwar. Okay, sorry. So yeah, I think because the time is almost Zuhur, probably in Jakarta, and also because Ibu Dr. Maya is not in Malaysia at the moment, yeah, so it's still very early morning in United Arab Emirates. Nevertheless, yeah, because it's almost 12 o'clock, yeah, so it's a lunch time. So I think it's good for us to keep the time, yeah. So I think if there is no more question, or maybe someone want to raise up and ask directly to the presenters. We can give you one or two opportunity for someone who want to talk directly to the presenters. Please raise your hand, and then the committee will turn on your mic. Okay. If there's no question anymore, then it will be our last. This will be the last of sessions today. So I would like to say thank you very much for Ibu Dr. Maya Puspa, Ibu Dr. Vivi Smita, and Mr. Yanwar for having for giving time, and also sharing experience and knowledge today with all the lecturers and also the students here in Economics and Business Faculty of Shahwal University. Hopefully we can, collaboration again in the future in the terms of research, or maybe some project or activities that can have a fruitful collaboration between institution or probably just personal. Yeah. So thank you very much once again. And I'm, as a moderator today, would like to say thank you very much on behalf of the committee, and also would like to apologize if there is a mistake during the presentation. And I will close with the doa kifaratul majlis. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm giving back to the MC.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much for our extraordinary moderators, Mr. Dinaro SMBA AKCA. As usual, Mr. Dinaro is always excellent in guiding discussion sessions, and you can give a very big virtual applause, of course, for Mr. Dinaro, ladies and gentlemen. And we also want to say thank you to Mr. Rudi Salahuddin as our keynote speaker. And then thank you for Mr. Yanwar Tejawijaja as our national speaker, for Dr. Maya Pusparahman as our international speaker. And thank you also for Dr. Vivi Smita as our speaker from Economic and Business Faculty, Shahwala University. Of course, we hope that all the material that have been presented today can be useful for us and can advance our insight and knowledge about the economic recovery and the technological advancements. And next, ladies and gentlemen, we enter into photo sessions. So we ask all participants to turn on the camera, and we will start the photo session soon, of course. We inform for all participants to be able to participate in these photo sessions. Okay. Okay, please look at the camera and smile together in 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, next, one more. Look into the camera and smile together in 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. Big applause, of course, to all of us. And this photo sessions close our meeting today. So I want to say thank you to all presenters that have been give a very useful knowledge and experience today. And thank you for our extraordinary moderators, Mr. Dinaro, who have guided the discussion sessions. And last, we would like to say thank you to all participants who have joined today's international webinar. And finally, I'm Shema Atika, as the master of ceremony today. Resign from your eyes, resign from this Zoom meeting. I apologize for all shortcoming or mistake. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.